And welcome to another Fury of Dracula. This is group one of stage two. It's going to be uh, Werecraft taking on Randiv. And for commentary today, I have brought along the Pizzawizard.
Hello, glad to be here.
Alright, so this is the group I ended up stuck in, and you're hoping I come out of, but
Yeah, it would be really nice if you won this Met King. So I don't know who I'm rooting for to win this match. Presumably whoever's won less overall, but good luck to both these people who are playing today. Werecraft and Rand are both experienced players. Should be a good game.
yeah. Fortunately, I can remain impartial because I don't know what Werecraft's score is right now. I don't know how his game went against see, who was it against actually?
Well, if it wasn't against Randy and it was against you, that only leaves one person, right? Because it's only groups of four.
Yeah, Mr. Green. That's what I was thinking.
Two, right, there we go.
Sorry, Mr. Green. Did not mean anything by that. I was just dumb for a second. I'm not looking past any of my opponents. I know you're all gunning for me too.
Yeah, I mean, difficult, difficult to say. Difficult to say who's going to win this game, I think. They both have. Obviously, I would never Warcraft perform very strongly in previous leagues. I was very surprised to see him go 4-4 in the first stage. But I
Random
wouldn't
did as
obviously wouldn't bet
well.
against him, especially as hunters.
Yeah. Random did as well, but he ended up on a bit of a losing streak at the end of his group. He won early and then kind of tapered off.
Hmm.
So hopefully he'll be able to start turning it around here tonight. Well, today, whatever time it is for you
Yeah, I mean,
watching.
a win against Werecraft would be huge, I think, especially as Dracula. Although I don't know if the meta has shifted to now Dracula is the one in the advantage position, but I still feel like hunters. It's easier as hunters to win than Dracula.
Yeah, it's kind of bouncing out right now if you're just looking at this tournament.
Right, the statistics have come in, and it is very, like, I think it was one win off of being exactly 50-50%.
That's
So,
and that's only because our group, the hunters, just dominated. In the other groups, it was very much more evenly split.
mhm. Well,
Yeah, I don't know what Mr. Green and Werecraft came out as. All I know is I was able to beat Randiv, so he's currently down one. So
yeah,
winning today is very important for him.
what they are right now, I'm not sure, but all three of them came out 4-4 out of their respective leagues. I think Mr. Green had the best IDS out of the three, but not by much. It was like 25 for him, 18 for Craft, and 14 for Randiv. Obviously, it's these are all in different groups. They're playing against different people, so it's not really indicative of how well they're going to do in this group of four. But
Yeah,
it's
you
definitely
can't
going to be close, I think.
yeah, you can't look past any game at this point.
Oh, definitely. I feel like it's way too. I mean, we're in the middle of the second week, right? Or end of the second week. It's
This is the end of the
way
first
too
week.
early. Oh, end of the first week. It's
Yeah, this is the last
I
game of
think
the first week in this group.
it's way too early to start looking past games if you even are going to do that at all, right? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe your last game you kind of know what the result's going to be either way, but before that,
You know what's exactly at stake. Like when we played, we knew that there was no changing anything at that point, so we just had fun with it.
Mhm.
There's a third person in there.
Oh, I need to leave. I did it
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
I
a
had
little
to join
early
you.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was excited. I'm excited to see this
Yeah,
game.
yeah, gotta watch for the eye.
Mhm. Eye on the prize and all that.
Right. Well, since we got a moment, I'm gonna post these real quick. Um, oh, lost my link. Well, looks like they're having a little trouble starting now. At least it's buying me time.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame that on me for joining the lobby. I think maybe I messed it up, but hopefully it'll fix.
they're starting.
Okay, and it's the eye, so I'm good to spectate it.
Yep. Alright, going for the standard setup.
Yep. Yeah, it's really sad. I was kind of curious to see after the last game I spectated with Quincy and the setup of putting both Mina and Godalming in Munich instead of in Vienna. I was kind of curious to see whether that was a trend, but no, it seems like that's just him. I think the Vienna start has some solid merits.
Yeah. Gives you access if you want to do a psychic scan of 3 countries much easier.
Well, you can still move by Munich to 3 different places, but
I mean, from Vienna compared to Vienna. Vienna, you can't really go to Italy without 2 movements.
Yeah. Although the rail line connects there, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know.
But are you gonna spend a yellow ticket this early just to scan Italy?
Well, I mean, moving both of them to like Genoa isn't bad, right? Because they're still, again, they can rail back to Vienna if they have to go to the east. That's a big city. It's connected to the Tyrrhenian Sea. If Dracula's in Italy, he can't really get into Italy unless he goes through Venice or there. I kind of like, and it's right next to Marseille, which is obviously well connected. Yeah, I kind of like the Munich Star, honestly. Although I haven't obviously tested it yet because I haven't been playing, but I kind of like the Munich Star over Vienna. Although I feel like if I want to put not Jonathan Harker, if I want to put John Seward in Bordeaux, I feel like I shouldn't do both because then it's the benefit of putting, yeah, it's the benefit of putting him in Bordeaux is it kind of puts more pressure on the people in the middle. And if I'm also doing that with Mina Harker,
rumor, unfortunately.
yeah, especially on Van Helsing. It's not great. Although it probably means he's maybe not in England, because if he wanted to put his first encounter down in like Edinburgh, he probably would have started in Manchester. So it makes me think he's probably not doing an England start, although I feel like that's kind of a risky start. Yeah, doubt he would do it, but it's always a chance.
Remember where he started against me. I think he started in the east somewhere for when I played Randiv.
Eastern starts are generally pretty good, although I think that
I had the same setup as this though too, so
yeah.
Whether or not Werecraft saw that and it's making an influence, no way to know.
I feel like against this setup I like playing somewhere in the middle of the map just because I feel like I have time, like maybe start in Nantes, start in Amsterdam, maybe do Italy. Or something weird just in like middle central Germania or France.
Then again, I'm also known for my complete inability to draw any sort of information card in the first week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly been, since I've been playing in the tournament, I've been surprised by the lack of newspaper reports on 3. I mean, newspaper reports on 5 is more common, but by that I mean, revealing the 3rd space versus revealing the 5th space because you draw too early or too late.
Oftentimes I find getting it too early sometimes incentivizes the hunters kind of jump too early. Like, okay, let's get on top of him right now. Oh wait, we're not actually prepared to fight him.
I kind of like it because it lets me think more about what items I want on hunters. For example, if I know he's in the Far East, I will certainly keep at least 1 stake on those 2 hunters, whereas if I don't know where he is, I probably want to keep 1 stake, but it gives me less surety about it, because if he started in, I don't know, Spain, that stake probably isn't going to mean very much. They're probably not going to get over there in time.
He's got a daytime.
I like it for that reason. Yes, he does have a daytime card. He only had, what was it? 2 event cards out of his first 4 supplies. Yeah, he only had 2, but one of them is indeed a dawn event. That is not surprising return because we don't have an ally in the discard pile yet.
He's got a pistol.
Yep. Pistol and wax cylinders. Okay.
That'll be nice to get on Seward and start locking out the hide strategies.
Yeah. I mean, assuming Dracula saw it, presumably he won't be doing a hide strat then. Assuming that.
Yeah. Randiv actually forgot that I had wax cylinder on Seward, and that's what ended up costing him.
Wax cylinders is good. I mean, it's just like the hide effect finding the hide thing is good. The deduction, if you feel like you don't need it for hide anymore, can be really good. He
started out in Bordeaux.
Solid.
Yeah, he started in Bordeaux, and we actually ended in Bordeaux.
Where do you rank the like the hunter specific cards? Like what's the tier? If we're going to do a Scott's Word tier list, what do we think is the best? What do we think is the worst between
Okay.
the four of them?
Well, for which one?
The
Which four?
this character specific cards. So
Uh,
Hypnosis, Mystic Research, Wax Cylinders, and Lucy's Revenge.
well, the problem with all that is all four of them are tailored for one scenario each, and there's no real overlap. Like Mystic Research gives you the bottom of the deck clearing, but that's not gonna help you find Dracula. Unlike Seward's, actually no, there is one overlap: Seward's
Oh,
Cylinders and Hypnosis.
right. Just because they do different things doesn't mean we can't like think about which do we think is just like more powerful, right? We might say renewed vigor and concentrated ground do very different things, but we'd be willing to say I think one's better than the other, or like I don't know, hired scouts and
Local rumor.
sense of emergency, right? Do different things, but we might be willing to say I think sense of emergency is better just because I can hold on to it.
Well, okay, if you're gonna press, I'll give my thoughts.
No, no, we don't need to.
I
If we don't want to talk about it, we don't talk about it. I'm just trying to
I'm
think of
fine.
something to talk about
Yeah,
while we're
we're
waiting.
not really gonna happen for the first week.
Hmm.
All right, so I'd say Mystic Research is probably the best. Gives you a certain number. Will usually give you like 3 or 4 night supplies you can use for just cycling the deck, both items and getting some more events.
Hmm.
Or if you really are desperate, you can combine that with Long Night for a safe last second move.
Hmm.
I know it's not you don't really want to do that, but it is still an option.
I think I agree with you. I think that I just like the versatility of Mystic Research. I feel like no matter where you are in the game, it's going to be useful. Just because it's going to give you more event cards, it's going to let you night supply to get maybe hunters who have died or used their items, lets them get their items back. Uh, I think that after that, I'd probably put Hypnosis because I think Hypnosis can be really good.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of jostling between whether Hypnosis or Wax Cylinders is the better for of the two.
That's a
Again,
tough call.
yeah, they both have the right use for both of them. One's good for like if Dracula hides, Wax Cylinders is gonna tell you exactly where he is. But if he doesn't hide, all you know is he didn't hide.
Well, right, but you also, by
Whereas for
having it out, you're preventing him from using his hide if he doesn't want to get discovered. So there is some power in that as well.
you can also use it for its other effects we often don't talk about to see what
Hmm.
encounters are under space.
Yes, which can be
But
quite good. You know, if there's a fog, you can just ignore it instead of running into it. Stuff like that.
hired scouts.
We'll see.
Oh, he's in Amsterdam.
Oh, a man after my own heart, Randiv.
He spent two
Amsterdam
turns getting
start.
there. All right, so Amsterdam, Brussels, Amsterdam, maybe. Doesn't really
Yeah,
matter what the misdirect is.
probably wants to leave by, or maybe he wants to leave by Brussels instead. I don't know if he necessarily wants to go closer to, although he wouldn't have known he was going to get discovered.
Yeah. Oh, now Mia's got vampire layer, so
That's another good event. Yeah, Mina's been getting some good events. Vampire is also pretty good.
Van Helsing probably has grabbed the cylinders off her.
Hmm.
And obviously, in last place is Lucy's Revenge. It
Yeah, I
kind of
think
it feels like a glorified great strength.
it's a great strength that only affects Godalming. You have to give it to him. It does prevent escaping, which can be good, but I just compared to the other events, it's not. I don't know if I'd say it's bad, but I think it's definitely worse than everything else.
Like I said, it's for my eyes, it's just a glorified great strength with an anti-escape clause stuck on to make it feel more special.
Yeah, it's just less versatile, right? I mean, you can have the great strength in anyone. Lucy's Revenge specifically has to be on Godalming. It can only help Godalming. You have to play it at the beginning of combat, so it might not even trigger. You don't get to hold it until the moment when it would be useful. Uh, just a lot. It's a lot more rigid, less flexible. Okay. Well, I like the Amsterdam start. I don't know if I'd move into Amsterdam on the second day like he did, although I don't know what his plan is. Normally, I would, if I was doing Amsterdam start, I'd go there. Like, it'd be my bar essentially, where I put maybe.
Yeah, you go
Uh,
there, put your first encounter down, then
mhm,
misdirect to leave it.
yeah. Maybe depending on obviously what his encounter hand was, maybe he didn't have a good thing to put there, so he moved once, drew something better, and then it now went to Amsterdam. Maybe he went like Hoax Vampire, for example. Uh, Maybe that's why he's doing it.
There's three Drax events in the discard currently, so
Mhm. Yeah, they've been
plus the
drawing a lot
Hunter.
of Hunter events. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
good luck for them. Well, I suppose
So
they've only gone 12 cards deep, so that's 25%. That's not that much lower than 33%. And there's one on top.
so it's not the worst if he gets a hoax now, but not gonna have the greatest choice if he opened hoax.
The only problem with the Amsterdam thing, because he didn't misdirect, it's going to be very telegraphed. Once they discover either Cologne or Brussels, they will instantly know which space he left by because obviously he can't misdirect it because he used it earlier. So as soon as one space gets discovered on the trail, it's kind of going to say everything else that Werecraft needs to know. Maybe not everything else, maybe not like his current location, but it'll tell him where to look,
He's got at
whether he
least
went
two
west,
dawn
west, or
events now.
east. Yeah. I think it triggers once for each like character who has one, right? So he could even have more
Yes,
than that.
that's why I said at least two.
Yeah, at least two. Okay, John Seward's moving up.
Is Van
Okay,
Helsing about to come out of retirement? Nope. He's gonna keep
this
supplying.
this is why I want to have John Seward start on Bordeaux because I feel like you can just save. And obviously, if you do that, then he starts in Spain and maybe it's worse. But like he
Well,
could have just been supplied today instead of moving. Uh,
well, he also can't train in Amsterdam, so he's got to land on at least one encounter, unless he's got a horse to get in there.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind they've only supplied 3 times, right? They might not have like there's 22 item cards left. They probably aren't like well decked out yet.
Yeah, two garlic wreaths, a garlic, and a dog in discard currently. And like I
I
said,
think the
Mia's
big
got the pistol. Alright, he's not in
He went to
Germania, so he's at
He
9.
went to Brussels. Yeah, so he was in Cologne, went to Amsterdam, went to Brussels. That's a lot of information for the hunters to have this early in the game, like without using like many resources. I suppose, yeah. I do think I like starting in Vienna better than Munich because I think that getting to the east by rail can be really effective because you can't necessarily count on having your horses perfectly in order to be able to move down to like Sarajevo in one move. So even though we didn't start Munich, I think moving both people over and scanning here is kind of fine. I mean, obviously they're not supplying, but it does tell him exactly where Dracula is one way or the other.
Yeah.
Hope some plan blocks off Munich from Dracula going there. So as Dracula, what do you do? Do you like hug the coast here? Do you go to Le Havre? Do you make a beeline for like Strasbourg to Wolfform? Do you Wolfform today, maybe?
Well, one thing you also try doing is just going for 29 and hiding there. See if Van Helsing comes out of retirement right onto you.
I
It's
really
risky,
want that
but
to
it
work.
could.
I want that to be a legitimate strategy. I want it to happen. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just because his C movement is so telegraphed, right? It's something you can plan for. But the problem with doing it here, I think, is that because he knows very well that Dracula could do that, right? He could unwittingly move Van Helsing onto him. He might not be willing to move Van Helsing until he knows where Dracula's going, right? Because if he leaves England, Dracula, even if he's not ambushing Van Helsing, could theoretically just like go to sea and go to England right now because he's kind of close to that coastline.
Yeah. Not
And it
wolfing
would feel,
yet.
yeah, not
Staying
Wolfen, yeah.
steady.
Makes me think maybe there is a hoax under that thing before Amsterdam. I guess under Cologne, since we know it's Cologne now. Or maybe he just thinks it's not going to mature, so there's no point in wasting the wolf form if you don't think you're going to get it back. Because it's not going to mature because they know about it too soon and they have too many people too close to it. Because they could theoretically get like 3 people there next turn if they had to, and they still have 3-day actions to deal with it. But he's supplying, which is good. I think he needs to get the supply on.
Keep
He's got
settling
plenty of
that
time.
deck. Oh, Johnny boy.
Jonathan Hardger. Yeah,
So we
the
go
ally.
into 9.
Yeah, the ally effect not super useful. I guess I would search Strasbourg maybe. That's what I'm most scared of, I suppose, or Paris.
He didn't go to Le
Check.
Havre, so he didn't go 29.
Maybe he wanted to move Van Helsing over and wanted to know that he wasn't hiding there. Maybe.
So he's at 42, 51, or still 21?
I think he can
No, he
only
can't
be
be
in
21.
Paris or
Yeah.
Strasbourg, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The prompts keep hiding the map for me, so I can't see the roads very clearly.
Hmm.
Alright, so he's at
Yeah.
51 or 42.
I feel like France. I feel like he's pro. I feel like Paris is kind of a good move here because you from Paris you can go in a lot of different directions, right? You could go to Le Havre, you could go to Nantes, you could start making a beeline towards Marseille, for example.
And if you're
Um,
trying to get Sewer to start taking care of the vents, he'll jump right over you.
yes, I think him being moved. If he was in Paris, him getting moved on to. I mean, Werecraft knew he was in Cologne, so maybe he wants to check Paris. But if you move John Stewart onto him this early, I feel like Dracula wants to fight John Stewart like that. Maybe not wants to, but week one he can escape the second day. I think he'd be fine doing that because if he could get an escape off right now, it'd be huge. Free wolf form essentially with no damage taken. I mean, depending on how the combat goes, obviously.
Alright, Mia's got horses now.
But
Looks like she discarded her pistol for that.
I mean, they're so undersupplied right now. I mean, I say undersupplied. It's just so early in the game, and they've been moving a decent amount. So I feel like if there was a one-on-one fight, they're not going to have like weapon, 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 right? John Stewart could have like I don't know what they've been discarding, but he could have theoretically, you
Uh,
know,
Mostly
a
he's been
garlic.
discarding garlic.
Yeah.
Both garlic rees, a couple garlics, dogs, and holy bullets, and Mia's pistol, it looks like. I'm
Mia
assuming
has a
that pistol is from
horse.
Mina.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's from the two of them over there, not from Van Helsing or John Stewart. They've only supplied, I think, like four times each. So if every single item in their hand is better than a pistol, that would not bode well for Dracula. I guess John Stewart hasn't discarded anything yet because he's only supplied four times, so he could theoretically he hasn't discarded anything. So
Well,
he has legitimately four items, and we have no idea what they are, and they could be anything, right? They could be really good, they could be really bad.
alright, so right now, if I was in Paris, I'd probably want to go down to Clermont Rand. It's got no
Hmm.
rail connections. They're all focusing up here, obviously, and that kind of gives you a pathway to Spain.
Yeah,
It
it
gives
gives
you
you.
the Mediterranean escape, you get the South Atlantic escape.
I think I really agree with that, right? It leaves open the possibility that you go to like not next turn, and it also lets you go to Marseille if you want to go there. It lets you maybe it threatens going into Spain. I think that would be a good move.
Yeah. Just lots of good connections you can make that the hunters just don't know which way you're going. You could even double back to 39 and go to the North Atlantic if you truly wanted to. I don't think it's a good move, but you could.
I
It
mean,
does
if
threaten the option.
it could be okay. I mean, really, I feel like these moves all look fine. The real question is what items and events do the hunters have, right? Because if let's say he did go to Clermont-Ferrand and they like renewed Vigord and they accidentally weathered, like this could go bad. But in order for it to go bad, the hunters would have to have like a lot of
Every
very specific good things,
Yeah,
and
they'd
they've
have to be
only
set to
gone
go in 1 week.
right. They've
I
only
don't
gone
think we're seeing
27
it.
event cards deep. They haven't even got through the entire item deck once. I think he has some amount of safety. The question is how long is that safety going to last, right? How lucky are the hunters going to get with their supplies? Because every turn they sit here and supply, their hands are only getting better. Although they're going to have to move to deal with these encounters. Oh, here they go. Dealing with Cologne? Yes. You don't ambush, right? You let the hunters figure it out, probably.
Yeah,
Unless
let
it's like a
hop
bats, I
on.
suppose, into a vampire.
Yeah,
So you can get a night fight vampire and you bats them during the day so they'd have the night move, and then you can theoretically ambush them at night, which can be really good.
right. So what's Sewer gonna do? Is he
I feel
gonna
like
go
you
to
can't really move
Paris?
Seward, right? You kind of want to leave him there because he's blocking off. If he goes to Spain, he's going to be the closest guy. Or moving him to Marseille isn't bad either. Oh, he's going to Paris, checking Paris. Okay, he did
He
do it
did
to
go to
Paris.
Paris. So he's probably in 15 right now.
Could be a Nantes, I suppose. But the problem with moving John Seward is now Spain is so much more open than it was before. I suppose John Seward can just move back, but then again, then it's a lot of movement. He's not supplying as much.
Yeah, he's not good with Paris, or Paris might be something that's just gonna delay him.
I kind of like having John Stewart deal with encounters just because he can, if it's damage, he can kind of heal up from it faster than anybody else. And he has more items, so he could have like a dogs, for example, or something.
Or one game I just had John Stewart walking the dogs all over Europe dealing with encounters.
I mean, legitimately, he has not been able to discard anything. So John
Yep,
Stewart could
there's the
just it was a
hoax.
hoax on Cologne. Yeah.
Good call on that one.
Hmm.
Else,
Well, it's just
they'll give.
you don't rumor token it. I mean, he could just have also had nothing good, which has happened. But
Yep.
look, I'm a pessimist at heart. I'm always like, whatever Dracula's doing, it's gonna be the worst for me. It's gonna be a hoax there. It's gonna be whatever I don't want it to be.
Well, not bad to think of it that way. Alright, using the dogs in Paris for a reckless vamp.
Ooh, that is rough.
Alright.
It's a night fight. Although I guess John Stewart, maybe he's gonna be fine.
Well, he doesn't have the stake, otherwise he'd have revealed both, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah, that makes sense. He only got 2 combat cards.
And Knight against the Reckless is never fun.
He could have like a crucifix or something, though, right? I mean, like there could be something unorthodox that kind of catches Randiv by surprise. Crucifix does kind of really well overlap with the Reckless because they really want to Fang and they really want to Mesmerize. So I feel like playing Crucifix turn 1 just kind of covers a lot of your bases. Or, you punch turn 1 and then you Crucifix the next turn because then if they Fang into it, then they die. Obviously, Crucifix
Claws.
would be bad. Oh,
No,
he
just
escaped. Okay.
Alright. I'd say that's probably one of the two right moves for Reckless in this situation.
I
To
mean,
get
if
the
he
over
depending on what his
damage.
hand is, yeah. If he had a mesmerize, I'd argue maybe you play the mesmerize here. But if you claw and then he does crucifix or punch, then you're like sitting pretty. Feels pretty
Yep.
good. But I mean, for hunters, that's kind of okay. He took 4 damage. Could have been worse. It's John Stewart. He can kind of heal it up.
Yeah, I'll take him 2 days to get 2 actions to get that back.
I suppose yeah, that was his night action, so it will take him especially if he's trying to deal with Paris. Like I don't know if he's gonna try to fight it. Maybe he'll have someone else come over. Did because I don't know if anybody has a stake, but I imagine at least one person does.
Yep.
Probably Mina, because I guess, or maybe Godalming had one and he just didn't reveal it because he didn't think there would be a real vampire on Cologne.
Yep. And if he's delayed, he still gives him a day to get to Amsterdam.
Hmm. And yeah, I don't think Amsterdam's going to mature, right? I think that once it got discovered so early, it was kind of
Dead in the
that
water.
that yeah, but it was too many people are too close. The Amsterdam slash Bari starts are really good when they don't discover it until the 5th day, right? And then they have to spend resources to get there on time. Here, when they can kind of move early and get in position the day beforehand, they can do it. Although they are wasting days moving, so you're still getting something out of it, but it's just that the mature effect probably not.
Alright, so assuming you're in 15, do you
Mhm.
try and go for Spain or do you try to juke the hunters to make your way to the east?
I feel like going towards the east is a bad idea. I guess you can go into Marseille and then wolf form from Marseille, which is really strong. But the problem is that with the Mina Godalming so close together, or with maybe John Stewart even now, they can scan so effectively that Wolfram is going to be a little bit less good here than if like Mina was separated. Although obviously Wolfram from Marseille is always good, I think, right? Because you can get as far as you can get into Spain, you can go east, west coast, you could go into Italy, you could go into Munich and start going east. I mean, it's really good. Alternatively, he could go like Bordeaux and start threatening to go into Spain or to just cling to the coast in France. But I think Marseille makes a lot of sense. Toulouse maybe makes sense if you want to go to like Barcelona or further and just go into Spain as fast as you can. Don't waste
Well,
any time. Go into Bordeaux.
at this point, you don't really have to worry about losing and to lose.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even get insta kills there, right? It's not one of the insta kill locations. Yeah, you're good. You'll probably be fine. I think the biggest thing is where does he think it's going to take them the longest to find, right? Because let's say he goes to Toulouse and they immediately check Toulouse, right? And then they instantly know he went into Spain. Because if you go to Toulouse right now, you're not 100% going to Spain because you could still go to Bordeaux, but or I guess you could go to Marseille as well a turn later if you wanted to. But ideally, you want to move somewhere that they're going to check last, right? Make them waste their turns checking places that you aren't. I say waste, they're not really wasting it because then they know you're not there. But like
Well,
have make them keep checking for as long as possible. Leave yourself with the most options. Yeah, I think Marseille's a good move here. It leaves him with a lot of options. I doubt that he could get 2 people on Marseille, but I really doubt he's just going to move down Seward down to Marseille with him being at 5 health.
yeah, you're gonna want to take a little time to heal up Seward before you try and chase down Dracula.
Do wonder if you move Van Helsing now, though. Is now the time? No, it's not. Okay. I guess he could still theoretically be like hugging the coast and just when he just goes to England when Van Helsing leaves.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd be willing to maybe not like bet my life on it, but they probably don't have a full consecrated ground right now. Probably.
Yeah. It's only one card in the deck of 75.
And then even if they do have it, do they have a perfect one such that it's going to make you go back to sea? Maybe not. Right? Do they have three different They hosting three different people?
7 Draculas in the discard right now.
Second Holy Bullets got discarded. Shame.
We all dream of the day we get to give Dracula his due with the big iron, but
yeah,
I need to come up with a rifle version of that.
Okay, so if Dracula went to if he wolf forms right now, I feel like that kind of tells me he went to Marseille because I feel like the wolf form from Marseille is so strong. Although the problem with doing it now is that they're kind of already spread out to cover most of the locations you'd go. Like,
it kind of does telegraph you were in Marseille at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you were in like Toulouse right now, you could theoretically wolf form to like Alicante, or maybe to Madrid if you want to save Alicante to leave from there. Or you could, but I think the best wolf form location is Marseille, right?
Also, if you did Marseille wolf forms, you can then misdirect Marseille, and that could really throw a wrench in the hunter's plan.
It's true. If they don't find it, I really like making Marseille a lair just because I feel like you can if you
it's
put
a high traffic zone.
Yeah, people are gonna go there all the time, and if they're not going there, then that's also an advantage because that means they're taking less efficient routes if they're avoiding it. Yeah. Like, and I know maybe it was a little bit overboard of me to put like a reckless vampire there, but I think I did that only I put a reckless there and I think I got like a point off of it, and they spent time getting rid of it because they wanted to keep moving people to Marseille. Then obviously you're not having a reckless on the trail, right? So trade-off.
Yeah, I'm still currently in the mindset when I'm playing to just layer up for cycling my deck. There's the wolf form.
Yeah, I think I agree with that most of the time. I just think that if it's specifically somewhere like a Marseille, maybe, or I don't know, like somewhere where I think they're gonna have, like Rome, maybe. Rome, if I know there's like somebody's in Italy and I know they're gonna have to go back through Rome or Florence, maybe I'll do it there. But I think the most of the time, yeah, layers are just a way to shuffle through your deck, which is why maybe I'm a little bit less keen on the Dracula's Brides because I feel like they can get good luck, even if they don't get good luck, then they're doing what I kind of was already able to do anyway, given that I've moved on land enough.
Well, Dracula's Brides does kind of let you double up on that too if you're also using layers.
And it means you don't have to move on land to get that effect, right? It's every turn.
Yep. I believe it's start of turn. You can cycle a card out of your hand.
Yeah, something like that, right? End of the Dracula phase. There's some somewhere in there. I do kind of like this wolf formula because there's a vampire in Paris. So if they let Paris mature, which normally would kind of be okay, at least he's going to get his work. I mean, okay for the hunters, given that there's no rumor token on it. He'll at least get his wolf form back, which will be nice.
Yeah. But that will be giving 4 points, which will knock 2 days off of the Fury at the end if it gets to that point.
Right, but it also knocks off 3 Dracula encounters. It gives them a lot more time to kind of pursue him at their leisure rather than having to deal with the trail at the same time. But now that it gives him his wolf form back, is that worth it anymore? Less so. It's less worth it than it was. Yeah, you gotta check Marseille, right? Check Marseille with John Seward. Yeah, maybe you don't this turn. Maybe you move him to like you think he's going into Spain. Maybe you start moving him back towards Spain, and you check Bordeaux with or not Bordeaux. You check Marseille with like Mina, maybe. Or you scan with Mina today. I suppose maybe you're looking for a scan and like. Where do you want to scan right now? I guess you want to scan Italy.
I'd say Italy or Germany. I know Germany less likely, but it is still a possibility he went there.
You could have gone to Nuremberg or Munich. It's very possible. I suppose it's true. If you want to scan today, you're going to have to with John Seward. So this move is important because if he goes to Spain, right, there's no chance of scanning.
If he did go to Munich, then that opens up the idea he's just running east and he's going to have fun out there for a little while. While you have to deal with this big trail over in France.
Yeah, I mean, if he did go to Munich with this wolf form and he doesn't get discovered today, I think that it turns out great because I feel like he's just bought so much space from them if he's in Munich right now. The problem with going to Munich is if you do get discovered today, right, then
You're in
it's less
trouble.
good. Yeah, it can be less good. But I mean, actually, maybe Munich is really good here because theoretically, right, assuming there's no renewed vigor or event cards, only Mina can get there. And if Mina moves on to you, are you kind of okay with Mina moving on to you? You know she has a horse, right? So she doesn't have 3 combat cards. It looks like he's scanning Italy. Maybe.
Excellent weather.
Okay.
Van Helsing's coming out of retirement.
hmm I think now is a good time. I think that wolf form kind of indicates that he's probably not just sitting on the coast somewhere. Although maybe he could have wolf formed to like Nantes or something, I suppose. But
Gone to Spain. He's probably not going
or
to head for England for a little while, so Van Helsing can come help out for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, or legitimately, if you're in Nantes and then Van Helsing moves away, you go to Le Havre and then you just like chill over there, and then when you get discovered, you go to England. Although now I feel like the Consecrated Ground is more likely because I feel like they've gone through a little more of the deck, but I don't know. I mean, if they Consecrated Ground you and you're at 13 and you have to go back to sea, that's not the worst. I mean, it's bad, but it's not death. And then they don't have Consecrated Ground anymore. So you
Yeah.
could kind of like go to Ireland with some safety.
Evil presence. He's not adjacent to a hunter, so he's not in 38.
That is huge right now. That means that he did not go east unless he went to Venice or Florence. Or I suppose he could have gone to Genoa.
So,
If he was in Marseille, he moved one. But
so that's a good, well-timed evil presence to show up at least.
yes, this is when you want to see those evil presences.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the
Just
Astro
try to
Vamp.
makes you regret it's not a real vampire, right? That would have been a good time to have a fight.
Yeah.
At night. Has to kill it that night, otherwise it matures.
Yeah.
Would have been
New
good.
Vamp on Amsterdam.
Oh yeah. Or even a reckless, right? Because you still want 4 points maybe, but I mean Aristocrat's also fun. Especially, I mean, he didn't know he was going to get discovered so soon, so there was a decent chance if he didn't get discovered until later that it would have matured.
Yep.
Uh,
You could just sit on it. So now he's got to deal with 9. And then he's got to deal with the Reckless in Paris.
I feel like if you can scan Italy right now, that will kind of tell you. Because if he's not in Italy, I suppose, yeah, if he's not in Italy, I guess maybe he will form to Venice, and then he can move to Munich tomorrow, and then he's not in Italy and he still went east. But
Okay, I have to stand corrected on something I just thought of for our discussion earlier.
mm,
Long night right now to get Seward onto Mina.
true.
Actual use for the card.
Hold on, that would actually be big. That would be good right now. But
Okay.
the problem is, you have to use that a day. I guess maybe you can plan this all out so you know that you're not going to be close enough.
Alright, there's the misdirect from, I'm going to assume 36, but
That's annoying though, right? Because we assume it's 36. It could have been like
now we
something
can't be
weird,
certain no matter
like
what it was.
yeah, it could have been Bordeaux that it will form from, and it could be like super far into Spain right now. I mean, we can't be entirely sure. This is where hypnosis would be huge, right? You throw on the
Yeah.
hypnosis, and then you know what region he's in, and then you can kind of trace his trail back from there. Like where would he had to move to get there?
And you're so far pretty sure he's not using a hide. So your wax cylinders aren't really helping you either.
Mm, he hasn't used wax cylinders this whole game. I would probably want to throw it out. I mean, he's probably not doing it now because I think moving away from the hunters is really valuable. But
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, in the future,
But
he should be using it. Just having it, if you're never going to use it, maybe he doesn't use Tide, but there's no point. If John Stewart's passing his night actions, I guess he's been healing, so that's why he hasn't been using it, but in the future.
he's probably also going to spend one more turn grabbing a second rail ticket at least.
That's true. If the horse economy isn't really good yet, he hasn't been using the horses, so I assume that they're not great yet. Maybe he's trying to get that done first.
Throwing away Dracula card.
hmm
Yeah, Van Helsing has to deal with Brussels. We seem to have lost you.
Yeah, just a visual glitch for the portrait. It's nothing big,
Uh,
but it's
I,
annoying to see like half a face.
I've still never had that happen.
Yeah, it's nothing huge. Normally just a quick relog fixes it. Yeah, there we go. Okay,
Yeah,
so he's going to Brussels, like you said.
yeah, he kind of has to. He's the only one who can reach it, assuming the event is actually worth stopping.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
For
he.
all we know, it's rats.
There is some argument to not stopping it if you think it's worthless, but I think generally just not letting Dracula get any events matured or encounters matured is pretty good. Although you really want Paris to not mature now, I think, because now that Dracula is losing less, like he's already misdirected whatever was before the wolf form, so he's not losing that encounter by it maturing. Like I think if I was the hunters right now, I would want to stop Paris.
Yeah, and you know that's reckless. You know it has to be killed.
If it matures, it doesn't even get rid of that much stuff for Dracula, and it gives him back his wolf form.
Bats. And
Ooh.
Van Helsing had the stake.
Oh yeah, Van Helsing. So now he won't be able to stop the Reckless. The question goes back to, does anybody else have a stake to stop that Reckless vampire? Maybe that's a reason that to not ambush with those bats, right? Because instead of just pushing Van Helsing into the vampire, now you can make it so Van Helsing can't deal with it in time. Hmm.
Just send him to
Because
Amsterdam. Send him to his birthplace.
yeah, he layered Amsterdam too, so I think it's probably what's gonna happen, or maybe Cologne, depending on.
Okay, I think the bats have left me alone. Oh, hey, this is my childhood home.
He didn't layer Amsterdam. I was wrong about that, but he layered Cologne, so probably maybe we'll push him into Cologne for the layer value, depending on what's there. We'll see. Hmm. But yeah, I thought about it more. I don't think he necessarily needs to use wax cylinders here. I think maybe the horses are more important at this point because I think Dracula's probably moving a lot. He's probably not hiding here unless he did wolf form to like Nant or something, and he's hiding out, waiting. I think feeding the horses under you is really important. I mean, for Dracula, this is pretty good, right? We're start of the second week or like 2 days in the second week. Hunters have been moving around a lot, haven't had the full time supply. You haven't matured anything, sure, but this Paris thing might mature. They still have no idea where you are. I mean, this is not a bad situation for Dracula.
Alright, he's layered up in number 9.
Yeah, if Godalming doesn't have a horse, he's gonna have to move. There is no rail connection there, so he's gonna have to move on to either Cologne or Brussels.
Dropped his first rumor token finally. He's probably going to move Van Helsing to 2 now and force him to pick which layer he deals with.
Ooh,
Unless
yeah,
Godalming takes care of one.
I really wonder what because now do the hunters let the Paris thing mature in order to make the rumor token not worth anything? I feel like they probably still deal with it, but if they don't, it does give Max wolf form sooner, which is annoying. Hmm. That rumor token's definitely interesting.
They'll also wipe out the trail quite a bit, and now you've got no idea where he went again.
All right, but they've kind of misdirect. One of them's already been misdirected. The value there is less than it was before the
Oh,
misdirect
he's
came down.
faithful.
Oh,
He did go to Clermont-Ferrand. Alright, so we were right
this
earlier.
doesn't
20, 42, 15, likely
this doesn't
36. Will
yeah,
form
this
out.
doesn't tell us a lot though, right? I mean, he could have still gone to Bordeaux. He could have still gone to Marseille. Probably was Marseille, unless it was Toulouse. I mean, no, it's difficult to say, right? But I think that it's not an unfair assumption to assume he went towards Spain, although he could have gone to Munich, could be in the East right now. Oh no, he
Uh,
couldn't have because there was an evil presence. He could have gone to Venice and then slowly made his way to the East, but
yeah.
uh,
Again, this is where you want that hypnosis to come up.
single layer. What's in it? I mean, in this was layered so early on. Okay,
Saboteur.
that's a saboteur. It's not nothing. That's something at least. Maybe mess up the horse, make the horses harder to find.
No item revealed,
Yeah.
so the Saboteur will stay there.
I mean, there's probably no point in. I guess if you maybe, but Van Helsing's already going to be delayed. There's no point in what's the word? There's no point in pushing him into it.
Yeah. But then again, now he's
So
going to
he'll,
be pushed to Amsterdam, and because 16's now not cleared, he has to risk what's at 9. Or
that's true,
he
yeah.
has to either go to the Saboteur, or he's got to play an event card to get out of there, or take the long way out by sea, even.
Yeah, the lack of horses right now is just kind of their mobility is not great, and it's really being showcased by them getting this Amsterdam movement where they have to move into one of these two spaces because they don't have horses and it's not connected to a rail line. Or maybe they do have horses and they're just choosing not to use them out of fear that they would die.
Yeah, in case you draw your one glue ticket you can't seem to get out.
But yeah, because as soon as you use them, don't worry, you'll draw the glue ticket as soon as you start using them.
Yeah. It's never if, only when.
Yeah, I've been punished really hard for trying to like cheat out my horses earlier than before the ticket economy's fully set out, and then just like maybe getting one successful move off, but then immediately losing them the move after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good for Dracula. I guess now they are sitting down, they're supplying a little bit more, but they're supplying on small cities, or at least John Seward is, where they're not going through that event item deck, which they still are only about 21 cards deep in. So there's still 14 cards they haven't seen yet. Middle of the second week. I guess like it's three out of seven, so still fairly early, but third day. On the plus side, he has dealt with every Dracula encounter, so Dracula doesn't have any points. So so far it's been good on that front. He's gonna have time to get his supplies probably because Dracula's not gonna just win out of nowhere. Honestly, I mean, this is kind of okay. It would have been worse if he hadn't supplied very much and then ran into Dracula. At least here, he hasn't supplied a lot, but at least he hasn't been punished super hard by
Send
like
him
a
to the
Dracula fight.
Reckless.
I don't. Oh wait, he's gonna be delayed actually, so he won't be able to stake it at night. That's actually fine. I kind of.
Yeah.
Do you think you can get a point off of it? It's risky in that if he has, I don't know, like a planned ambush or he has a heavenly host, he might just throw it down to get rid of this vampire.
Yeah.
Then you're getting rid of those resources, and you still have the rumor token on the wolf one. So maybe you're
He's
kind
only
of
got
okay with
one.
that.
He's only got one weapon in hand. So.
He did have more time to supply, so I would expect his hand is probably a little bit better than everybody else's. Like he might actually have a heavenly host or a knife or something good.
Yeah, he has a stake, we know.
He has a stake. Wonder if his other cards maybe horses, and he just hasn't been able to use them yet. Laws versus
A crucifix.
crucifix. Oh, that's bad for hunters. That's rough. Yeah, I said maybe I didn't like how I played Claw's first turn before. This is the scenario where Claw's is really good first turn, right? Because now you know all of the hunter's cards. You didn't take any damage on the crucifix. Right, now Dracula can just play. This is the worst case scenario for the hunters, right? He can play knowing everything in your hand. There are no more surprises.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Van Helsing's gonna try to escape. Just get out of there with what he's got, what health he has. Because now you know that Reckless isn't gonna go down.
There might be an argument to maybe dodging if you think he's going to fang you to prevent him from getting the point, maybe. But
There's second claw and escape. Alright, so you've half killed Van Helsing already.
and he's not healing today.
Yeah. And then this Reckless is gonna mature and fall. Or you're gonna layer it.
No, maybe he
Depends on if
won't.
he's
Maybe
going
he
for
will.
that. Depends if he's going for that rumor token or not.
The rumor token did feel a little bit questionable to me. I felt like the vampire in Paris was likely to mature probably, unless the hunters were going to start like sense of emergency, like Mina over there to deal with it. I felt like it was probably going to mature, so I feel like the rumor token was really unnecessary because it was going to get. You knew it was likely to get knocked off after you saw Van Helsing get batted. So I don't know. I feel like maybe it was a little bit unnecessary. Maybe Clermont Ferrand has a good encounter as well, and maybe that would be a reason to not to make Paris a lair. if like there's a hoax in Clermont-Ferrand, for example. But I imagine if you make it a lair, someone will go deal with Clermont-Ferrand on the assumption that it's something good, and there's two people within one road space of it.
Well, one of them is the half-dead Van Helsing, so he might.
It's true. He probably didn't know one, but
But
John Stewart will probably be able to deal with it,
yeah,
unless it's
Stewart's
still a
gonna move
vampire.
first as well, so
Yeah. But I mean, whatever Dracula's done, he has bought himself an enormous amount of time. He still hasn't been discovered. I mean, whatever it's worked out, right? He's had time to. If he went to Italy, he can be all the way in Bari by now. If he went to Spain, he could have just. Yeah, he's been able to get his pick of the spaces to go to and put down whatever encounters he wants. I mean, whatever Dracula's done, it's worked out.
yeah. Yeah, he could be on the boot. He could be doing the Madrid Grand Prix.
I mean, because the hunters have been spending time dealing with the trail and supplying, which is good things to do. But it's given Dracula space to set up something maybe. Like he could have a trap in Spain, for example, where he like has a bat in Saragossa, and then like vampire in Alicante or Madrid or something, and then just push someone into that at night. I've done that before. If I think I have time.
That sounds deadly.
I've killed someone with it. I actually killed Godalming. I was kind of an outlier. I didn't expect to kill 11 health Godalming, but he did. He had like double Heavenly Host, and I managed to get him with double Vampire on Alicante after pushing him in there with a bat. Kind of not the ideal situation. You really want like Godalming or Mina to lay down it because obviously they're weaker, but
11 health Gildami is not anything to sneeze at either, and taking him down,
mhm.
he'll get on his feet a bit faster because of his double item supplying, but
Yeah, it was still points and it was still good. But I mean, if he could set up a trap in Spain, or he could just like put a bunch of stuff down there and then just leave again and make them either deal with the trail or keep chasing him.
what stage did you do this in? Madrid?
Which state
Do you
did I
remember
kill
which
Godalming in?
Yeah, which state was
Or
that in? Or do you
it
remember
was in
that?
Alicante. I pushed him from Saragossa into Alicante, and then I left the turn after because I was also in Alicante, so I got to fight him, and the two vampires got to fight him.
Yeah. And now he's stuck knowing there's two vampires just to the right of him.
Mhm. Yeah, and then he gets he has to he does.
You didn't feel like visiting him in the hospital?
Yeah. Hmm.
Hello?
Sorry, that's on me. It's my internet.
Yeah. It said you were spectating again after you got cut off. I was wondering if we lost
There you
you
go.
completely.
Just reconnecting, rejoining. It's great. I love it when I'm playing, especially. Love that when that pops up in the middle of something. Uh, but okay, so wait, hold on. Is Clermont-Ferrand? Oh, this is him deciding whether to layer or mature
Looks like
Paris.
he layered it.
We layered it.
Yeah, he layered Paris.
Okay, stuck on a waiting screen for me, so I'm just gonna
Yeah, he
wait.
layered Paris and walked away.
I guess whatever's in Clermont-Ferrand must be somewhat good then.
Or he's just going for pure greed and going for that river token.
That's true. But I feel like they're probably gonna be able to get to that in time. I mean, obviously depending on where it is, but I mean they still have 3 days. That's not insignificant. And if they have like a newspaper reports on 5 again, I mean they'd have to have it again, but if they do, they can probably get there. Maybe he protected with a hide because there's been no wax cylinders yet, so he could have hidden somewhere along the way. Although probably wouldn't do it early on, I imagine, because he doesn't want to get his trail discovered
Well,
when
and
he has so much.
Dracula's in the discard pile, so if this is a hoax, it could be a good one.
Yeah, hoaxes are it's so devastating, especially if the hunters haven't supplied a lot, because then they maybe haven't gotten a lot before the hoax goes off. Here we go. Clermont-Ferrand, what was worth layering that vampire? And I
Just
think
don't
if you weren't,
ambush it. Just let it come out. Let them find it.
yeah, and I think if you were going to layer it, I think pushing Van Helsing into it makes a lot of sense. Because if he kills it and you were going to layer it anyway, and he uses resources to kill it, that's kind of okay. And then maybe you get a point off of Fangs or something, right? I think that play makes a lot more sense now that knowing that he was going to layer that. He didn't really want it. He was okay with it not maturing. More Dracula events.
Yep, he threw away the crucifix.
That's fair. After Dracula knows you have it, it gets a lot less good.
And it looks like he's about to scan Italy.
Mm. I feel like it's. I guess if he's in Italy, you'll find out,
He'll
right? If
know
he's in like
he'll
Bari
know
or
he's deep
something,
in the boot.
probably. Because there's no point he sticks around unless he's deep in there. I guess it does eliminate a possibility, which is nice. Because if he's not in Italy and he hasn't gone through Munich, he's probably in Spain.
Oh, there's a mob.
Ooh, that mature effect could have been good, hitting
Yeah, would have.
both Van Helsing and Sewer. Wouldn't have killed him, but it would have weakened further.
Yeah.
Probably in Spain though, right? I feel like he's
Yeah.
probably in Spain. Maybe he went like
He's not.
Nantes to Le Havre or something, but
Yeah.
probably in
He's
Spain.
not in Italy, so he's definitely in Spain at this point.
Oh yeah, because
They
Brussels is
check.
the lair.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
went to Munich to make sure he didn't go in there last turn, so he didn't.
yeah, that's important. I
So
think
he
checking
wouldn't be able
Munich
to
there
take
is
east.
important. Checking Munich's important to make sure he didn't do like Venice into Munich and is now somehow in the east.
Yeah,
I
Munich
think
slipped past them, so he's currently running around the Iberian Peninsula.
I probably feel comfortable even like not knowing for sure he's in Spain. I'd probably be fine like railing someone into Spain right now, maybe Van Helsing into Madrid, just to see and be pretty confident that I'm not moving away from Dracula, just because I think that's Spain is the only realistic option left. I mean, there's other options obviously, but
Yeah, he could have been
not
super
much.
sneaky and gone back up the coast.
The real problem is that evil presence that went off, right? The evil presence kind of alerted us to the fact that he didn't really go north and he didn't really go east unless he went
Well,
further far into Italy or went into Munich. But we know he didn't do either of those two things.
uh,
So I feel like he's probably in Spain. And Spain is a safe bet, honestly, as Dracula. You go to Spain, right? They have to search everywhere else first because if they don't and you aren't in Spain and you're there, then you just and they go into Spain too early and you're not there, it's really bad.
yeah, he's
Um,
definitely in Spain now. He didn't go take anything tricky like 8 up the coast.
mhm. I mean, he
Not
could have
unless he
maybe gone
moved
to
forward
Nantes
to
and then went
54.
into Spain like slowly. I think there's a chance maybe he went to Nantes and then went Bordeaux, went Santander, and went to Spain more slowly that way. But I mean, I think it's equally as likely that, probably more likely that he just beelined it straight there. Maybe went to like Barcelona, went to Saragossa. Okay, I mean, if they don't deal with this rumor token vampire, it's gonna be less good because it is gonna. I mean, it's 7 points or 6 or 7 points, which is great. Always like 6 or 7 points. It is gonna knock off a large portion of his trail, which is a little bit unfortunate, and it's not gonna like give him his wolf form or anything back because obviously it is on the wolf form. But I mean, 7 points is 7 points.
Yeah, that's over halfway to victory in one card.
Problem is if he does mature, right, then they don't have to really worry about dealing with the rest of his trail. They can kind of just immediately follow him because there'll only be two or three things left after the vampire burns away most of it.
Yeah, 2 prompts, so still holding on to whatever he's got.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a renewed, oh, what?
But,
You know he didn't go to Nuremberg because you evil presence that space after he will formed. I'm pretty sure.
alright, didn't go to 8, so he's not doing. He didn't go the slow way in. So it's either 4 or 48 now.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think maybe Werecraft just, I'm pretty sure the Evil Presence went on the trail the day after he moved by wolf form, right?
Yes.
Fairly certain. So we know he didn't go to Nuremberg.
Yeah, he went to Madrid.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think you can kind of throw Van Helsing on the assumption that he's not in Madrid right now.
Alright, so it looks like he went from 36 to 4, 48, Madrid.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. I don't know why he'd go into Madrid earlier if he didn't have to. If he went to, for example, Saragossa, why wouldn't he just go like Santander instead of going Madrid? If he wolf formed into Saragossa, I mean. So I think you're probably right. I think probably wolf formed into Barcelona, moved to Saragossa, moved to Madrid. Makes a lot of sense.
Bats.
Ooh, this is rough, right? This is the danger right now. Is there like a Dracula hidden somewhere, right? With
Dracula
double
is hidden.
vampire.
Yeah. Is there a vampire party in the Iberian Peninsula?
This would be the dream, right? You get Van Helsing. He's on 5 health. You know he doesn't have very many weapons.
Yeah.
This is the ideal scenario, and nobody else is near him, right? Even if you have to stay to kill him, they might not be able to get that many people on you because they're kind of spread out right now.
Yeah.
Although they are rolling horses, so. their movement is better than it was.
Alright, so Mia's in position to deal with Barcelona now.
Yeah, I kind of think hiding, like if he hid yesterday during his movement, isn't even that bad because I think at this point we kind of already knew he was in Spain. So by getting it revealed wouldn't be great, but if it could like lead to like a trap like this, well worth it. We'll see. This could be a dead Van Helsing though, very easily, depending on what he's getting pushed into.
Yeah. So what's Randiv gonna do?
You know he's got a stake. So maybe pushing him onto a lone vampire, not a great idea. But again, it's a night fight. He's at 5 health, right? It's deadly.
We know that there's the vampire in 4. They rumored.
I assume this. If there's not a vampire in 4, he should have definitely matured Paris if there's not a vampire in 4. And I don't know what the plan was there if there was no vampire in 4. So there better be one. I'm pretty sure Randiv's a smart player. Fairly certain there's some sort of influence in 4 because there's no point in doing it if there's not.
Yeah, he was able to do a few moves on me that got me worried. I was able to win in the end, but he got me worried for quite a while trying to catch up to him.
I think this movement's going to say a lot because if he doesn't move him onto his trail, that's also going to reveal a space where he's not. But I feel like the whole point of ambushing with the bats is in order to ambush him at night with a vampire. I feel like that's the whole premise. The question is, where do you move him? Because if you move him onto yourself, then you reveal where you are, right? If you did like move off of Madrid and then hide and you move into that space, it does reveal where you are, which could be annoying if you want to kind of remain hidden.
Under the radar. And you got backup right there, looking to catch.
Well, right, because I don't think you can really stay. If like you move like I don't know, let's say he was in Alicante right now and he hid there and there's 2 vampires. If you don't kill Van Helsing now, I don't think you can stay to fight him in the morning. I don't think you can do it. It's too risky.
47.
Oh, okay. So he didn't. Okay, I think as Van Helsing, I feel pretty happy about that, right? He didn't die. That's kind of okay. I mean, he's not able to deal with the thing that is in 4 tomorrow because he is delayed, but I mean that could have been very bad if there was a vampire to push him into. That could have been gone very bad very fast, and that kind of reinforces what you were saying. I really think if he didn't go to Santander, I really think he went to 4 instead of going to Saragossa. Because if he went to Saragossa, I doubt he put Alicante on the trail so soon because that's a really good place to get out of Spain. Although maybe he did. Maybe he didn't really want to go Mediterranean. So probably it would, or maybe he didn't have a vampire to push him into. Maybe he wanted to maintain his his mystery about where he was, right? Mystery of his trail, because he could be like in Lisbon, he could be in Cadiz, he could be in Alicante this turn. We don't really know.
Also, hey Scott Sword, we finally have a viewer.
Ooh.
Yep. So far, nothing's matured. There's a reckless vampire layered in Paris. I'll show you the discard piles in a second. We know he wolf formed out of Marseilles.
We're fairly certain he wolf formed out of Marseille. There's a chance he didn't because he did misdirect it before we got to see what it was, but like 99, our guts are telling us he wolf formed out of Marseille.
Yeah, 448. Van Helsing just tried to jump ahead to check out Madrid. Got
Which was
batted
good.
into 47.
Yeah, I was really scared when he got batted, actually. I kind of thought he was going to get iced, honestly. I thought he was going to get pushed into something. I feared the worst, but he just got pushed into Santander and delayed.
Alright, here's the item. Okay, here's the item discard.
Nothing too unusual in there, I don't think. I haven't been monitoring it super closely, but yeah, it has been a very light supply game.
He didn't go to 4. He went to 48.
Wow. Yeah, he must have gone to 48. It's the only option left. Yeah. Don't jump over it, Mina. You got to get that.
Oh, she jumped over it. Oh.
Ooh, that is not good. He can kill Mina here maybe if he just sits there in Alicante with her, right? I mean, nobody's gonna get in there.
Yeah, he's got the vampire that's about to mature.
Wow.
Yeah,
What?
His wolf
How did
form back.
he?
That'll
He
and
must have
Ren.
hid in Saragossa. He must have hid to protect it in Saragossa. Man, that wax cylinder's not getting played. Oh, it's coming back to bite him.
Yep. Mia drew wax cylinders early on. We assumed at this point he's passed it on to Seward, but he's never used it.
Yeah, and I kind of assumed he wouldn't hide so soon after I thought he would keep moving to get more distance, but if he wolf formed from Marseille, unless he wolf formed from like Bordeaux into oh no into Lisbon, right? Or something weird like that, which is possible, right? If
Okay,
he moved
so
from
wolfing to
Clermont to
48.
Bordeaux.
Alright, so wolfing to Saragossa and hiding there is actually a really good move now.
Well,
Because
right, it's good
we were
now.
super certain it was 4, and turns out it wasn't.
Well, I feel like it was 31. I feel like maybe he went from Clermont-Ferrand to Bordeaux and then wolf formed to 31. Because I feel like hiding in Saragossa when you know he has wax cylinders is really weird. I feel like there was a lot of risk there that I don't think. My money is that he went to Lisbon. I don't think he would have hid knowing that the hunters had. Because if they just throw out a wax cylinders and found him there, he loses so much time, right? Because then they know he's in Spain. He's not going to stay and fight Mina. Okay, I feel like you could have done some serious damage to Mina there.
No
Okay.
vamp, so 6 points. And he did go to
It,
Lisbon.
Lisbon, yeah, okay. So we must have gone to Bordeaux and then we'll form from Bordeaux. The power of the misdirect, though, right? We assumed it was Marseille because we didn't know what it was. And so he had people
Yeah.
checking in the east, even though he never went anywhere near there.
And now he's in the Mediterranean with his wolf form.
Yes.
He could basically go anywhere at this point.
And maybe I feel like there was a lot of value there to be gained from fighting Mina at night. Even if you're not gonna stay, like take the one fight with her, because you know she doesn't have any combat events, right? You can see her event hand, it's just Vampire Lair. Like take the one fight with her, you can maybe kill her, and even if you don't, do you deal damage? Threat to you is like relatively minimal. I don't know. I feel like that was an okay fight for Dracula to take, but maybe, I feel like I play a very passive Dracula, and maybe I just whenever I'm not playing Dracula, I try to get people to play more aggressive.
Well,
Uh,
we know there's a rumor in 26 now, either way.
mhm.
So he's going to have to send someone down to deal with it. Most
Yeah,
likely
so
Van Helsing, because he's got the stake still.
yeah, so he probably went like Lisbon, Cadiz, Madrid, Granada, Alicante. I suppose he never actually went to Saragossa. Interesting. Or maybe he did. Nobody actually checked Saragossa, did they? Maybe he went Saragossa into Alicante.
Could also be heading back to Paris soon, just to make that vampire super scary to go after.
Yeah, I suppose.
Uh,
Ooh, we were talking about how much I liked Mystic Research earlier. That's big.
3 cards.
Oh, three Dracula events though. It's not as good.
Nocturnal Visit, Roadblock,
They're
and
not even
Seduction.
really.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 Dracula events count for. So there's only 9 left in the deck out of 41 out of 40. And you
Mhm.
know 3 of them are safe.
I
And we're
wish
about to
that
enter week
better
3.
Dracula events got discarded. Oh, go ahead.
As I said, we're also about to enter week 3.
Yeah, I mean the Dracula's in a good position right now, right? I think he's got his
Yeah.
rumor, his influence. The hunters are still relatively undersupplied, I would say, given how late we are in the game. They haven't gone through the item deck even once. He still has a rumor token they have to deal with, even though he just knocked off a bunch of stuff off the trail. Uh,
How much do you think they're holding on to big events? Well, we know they've got at least 2 different Dawn events. Which
they
ones those
haven't.
are, we don't know, but he's never
I
played
mean,
any of
they
those
haven't
yet.
used any big events, right? They haven't used any movement events. They haven't, aside from they've used a Mystic Research, and I think that is it. And they've used an excellent weather. They have used an excellent weather to get Van Helsing across the channel. But other than that, they have not used anything. They have been holding everything. So I suppose that is something to say. They haven't supplied too much, but they also haven't
Yeah,
they haven't been using a lot of the events that they have, right? They've been holding on to them.
yeah.
Yeah, the item deck hasn't even reset once. They were supplying a lot in small cities, actually. That's why the event deck is so thin, relatively thin, relative to the item deck, because they were doing a decent amount of supplying on small cities. But yeah, they haven't gone through the whole item deck yet because they were moving. They found Amsterdam. He went to Amsterdam, by the way, something that made me really happy. But they moved a lot in the early game and haven't supplied as much as we would expect. Although, granted, they did stop Dracula from getting any points until just now with Lisbon. They did stop like a hoax and some stuff by moving. And they do have a vampire lair, as we see on Mina, so they have time. Some time.
Yeah, but currently Vampire Lair won't help very much just because.
6 to 4 does save, I think.
Nope.
Oh no, it
Doesn't
doesn't.
save a day.
It doesn't save anything. Yeah, I mean,
He'll
yeah.
get you 2 points at the end if you can win it, but.
I mean, if he gets like a reckless vampire bite or something, then it would matter. But look, man, I feel like the Amsterdam start was validated. Scotsword saying lol, okay? He moved into Amsterdam and then he had to move people out of Amsterdam without horses onto the 2 layered spots because there was only 2 spots he could move to out of Amsterdam. Okay? It was good. Scotsword.
Yeah,
It's not
it
just
was
me.
good. Yeah, it was good this time. We swear it.
Can't believe he landed instantly. That's quite a bit of a thing there, right? Cagliari
Oh,
maybe?
okay. Scott Sword just updated us on the score right now. It's actually they both lost their first game, so whoever loses here is gonna be
Ooh,
0-2.
it's not great.
Yeah, that they're gonna be forced to win out at that point.
Because of course, because of course it's Amsterdam.
Weren't you too busy yesterday laughing because it's always Athens?
It was Athens. Well, no, nobody does. Anybody actually start in Athens anymore? I feel like I haven't seen that in so long. The Athens start.
I didn't say
Is that?
Athens start.
Oh, people always going to Athens.
Yeah,
Oh.
we even came up with a full T-shirt for it.
Do we think he landed in Alicante? I feel like if he didn't go to there's no way he landed in Marseille, right? I mean, maybe now it would actually be okay if he did, but kind of risky. Although he
Well,
could, he could, he had a fog, I suppose, or something.
well, we know one fog was just used on Mina, so there's that second one floating around still.
Oh, they used their renewed vigor today. Oh shoot, I was a little bit out of sync.
Oh
My
yeah,
internet's been
sorry about
slow, but was there renewed vigor going on? Ooh, what did what did Godalming do? Did he move to Munich and supply?
that. Yes, he did.
Okay, so people they're getting those supplies in.
I'd say start moving Van Helsing down to 26 to go clear it. Mostly just getting into Madrid for the supplies at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to use renewed vigor here. The real problem, I think, if he's in Cagliari,
Cagliari.
it's not great for him. I don't like it very much because I think, I mean, it's okay. He's probably not going to get caught there, but it's just he's using a lot of health and he's spending a lot of time not putting down encounters. I would have rather, honestly, maybe seen a wolf form from the Mediterranean, even if the wolf form resulted in going to Cagliari, just because then they would have to look more, right? It wouldn't just be I can check Marseille and know he went to Cagliari.
Oh, he's
Because
just
if
gonna
he
go
didn't
straight
go
to
to
26. It looks
Cagliari and
like.
Seward lands there, it's really bad, right? Then he's just got, well, not really bad, but he's wasted so much time.
Right.
We know he has a stake. Unless he's discarded it. But I don't think there's one in the discard pile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Getting ambushed.
Although
All the
all the
pistols are
pistols
just
are
moving.
gone. Yeah. It's weird. I wonder why he didn't ambush. Maybe it's an aristocratic or something. Maybe he thinks that Van Helsing won't use the stake on the assumption it's an aristocratic, and then we'll get a night fight out of the vampire. Hmm.
Oh, okay. He didn't go 36, so he's in Cagliari.
I kind of wish that honestly he was in Marseille because I feel like the one-on-ones with Mina right now would be fine, right? I mean, she doesn't, or maybe she just supplied, so maybe she has a combat event now, but I mean, if you 1v1 Mina, it's kind of okay. There's no Agatha. This would just be like, and we know he's in Cagliari now because he's on Marseille. Yeah, I don't like the Cagliari landing right here.
Well,
I think it's a little bit too early. I feel like I've fallen into the same trap where I go to Cagliari thinking I'm just gonna give myself enough time, but I think it's a little bit too early.
yeah. Cagliari is definitely the tricky one to pull off.
Suppose if he does hide, like Scott's mentioning, if because there is no hide scout so far, unless the a night supply with the Mystic Research will get one, right? If
You'd have to do it right now with
oh,
Mina.
hold on, Van Helsing
You
just
did.
gave Mina an event. If he has a second excellent weather, this could be bad for Dracula, right? Because then if he stays and he can get two people on him, that might not be good, right? The 2v1 is a lot worse than the 1v1.
Yeah. And if that second one card he's been holding on to turns out to be a speed telegraph and someone's got forewarned, he can throw that onto Seward, stop a fog from occurring.
I mean, I don't think he can give anything to Seward now that he's on the sea, but he could have just given it to Mina, for example, right? If her two other events are forewarned and excellent weather, and then speed telegraph to get Mina on there first, like you were saying, uh, that would be really. I mean, especially if you feed. I really don't want to see a feed. I feel like a feed is really bad. You don't want to feed. You either need to hide or leave. I don't think you have time to feed anymore. The renewed vigor kind of put a stop to that.
Oh, he's hiding.
Okay, he's hiding. Okay. So now the question is, does Mina actually have the second one excellent weather? Which she could. They've been gone fairly deep in the deck at this point, almost halfway.
Yeah. So you create a nice little fort in Cagliari. Let's see if it actually holds.
Right. If it's just John Seward, I think maybe if John Seward moves there, he just dies. If it's just him, depending on what these two encounters are. But I feel like Randiv has been kind of apprehensive about getting into combat, and I think that's really fair when it's John Seward because he has four events, right? He could have a planned ambush or a heroic leap or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
so I think the
Put
one-on-one
out
with
in
him
the
is
steel
less
chair.
good. Yeah.
No, it can't be Barcelona.
No,
Nobody
he
was there
John
when
Stewart was on
landed.
Barcelona. Yeah, no,
No, someone was on Barcelona when he landed.
John Stewart was, and then he moved off with he supplied and then moved off after with the renewed vigor turn. And I really wish he had landed in Marseille. Stewart was there. Yeah, you're right, Scott. Stewart was there.
Yeah, someone was there.
He's got to land with him though, right? If he doesn't land in Cagliari, what is he doing, right? Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
So there's got to be. I feel like John Stewart probably has a forewarned. He has so many event cards. Okay, that's good. I like that.
first
I
up, the
wonder
hit
why that's the
Dracula.
hide card. Yeah, why is that the hide card?
Well,
Maybe
he
there's a
just didn't
real
have it.
vampire. Yeah, maybe he drew it that turn, or maybe there's a real vampire under the other one, and he wants to be able to use the hide one to just protect it, essentially, and ambush and get points.
Well, Strider seems to be bored of our quacking.
Look, Strider, you could have been here, okay, and then you could have provided the commentary.
Yeah.
Look, we got it. We're doing the best of what we got, okay? Let's see. How many combat items does he have? He only has one combat item.
Whoa.
Wait,
I
oh
know
no,
he has
just
horses, but
hold on. Does that hand size take into account? It takes into account the card he's placed down, right? I'm pretty sure it does. He
yes,
only
he
has.
placed it. I don't know if it updated right away. We'll find out in a moment for certain.
If he only has one combat card, this is really bad.
Alright, only taking 2 damage and getting out.
Well, it only takes one because it's a day. Okay. Yeah. These reckless vampires have not been getting their fangs off, and it has been sad. I think there's been a lot. Okay,
New
so we
vampire.
yeah. Okay.
Triple.
Now the reckless makes sense, right? You have the one that's harder to kill on
Alright.
on the actual
Yeah,
space.
he only has 1 weapon in hand.
So
Could be
holy
double
bullets? Yeah, it could be double holy bullets.
You can only use 1 per combat, though.
So I wonder why he didn't try to kill the reckless now. If he's gonna move Mina onto the space, it feels prudent to try to get rid of it now, I suppose. If he has double holy bullet. Well, no, he can only have one. We saw 2 of them were discarded. Only 1 holy bullets, but
Okay.
and no big iron because all the pistols are gone. But he could have rifle holy bullets.
We really need to come up with a name for rifle holy bullets. getting out of
Yeah.
there again. But
Okay,
he's
so
going to
he
be at
took 4
5 health.
damage. That's kind of okay. Yeah.
So Dracula's going to have to fight a 5 health Seward.
Yeah, the real problem with this is if he has Heroic Leap, now if he uses it, he dies, right? I think if he was above, I think 5 was the big number that Dracula needed to get him to make the
Yeah.
Heroic Leap worse.
Well, let's see.
'Cause-
Dracula's got 12 health, so 5 would take him down to 7. Wouldn't be the most impressive thing. Plus, they
well,
feed.
it would it would mean that he took more from a constant because I think if John Seward, he's got to have Heroic Leap, right? Or he's getting it traded right now or something because going on and chasing after Dracula with one weapon is suicide, right? Why would he do that unless he had some like way like Heroic Leap, for example, to make so there wasn't actually a fight?
Alright, that would put him at 4 points as well. You know,
Yeah, I
that'll
mean,
put up to 10 points. I mean, he'd get 4.
now that it right now
If
that
he
it kills
kills
John
him.
Stewart, it's a lot worse. It's a lot worse if the Heroic Leap goes off. But if you can maybe think that John Stewart will live at more than 5 health, or he has like an escape route, but I guess he didn't have an escape route. I feel like he would have played it if he did. Or maybe he's saving it for the Dracula. Did we see a prompt at the beginning of combat?
No. There was no
No,
prompt, I
okay,
believe.
he doesn't. So then he doesn't have Heroic Leap unless Van Helsing's traded it to him. Obviously, it was a day trade. Kind of speaks to the fact that it's something,
Yep.
something good. I mean, it's supplying. Okay, so yeah, he's got to have Heroic Leap. Gotta have Heroic Leap. Or Lucky Find. That's useful.
Yep. Definitely
I-
something you need at this point for Seward.
I guess Van Helsing could have traded over any combat events that they had, like if they had Heroic Leap or something. Which it seems like they do because there's more prompts. Oh.
Now, if he had
Okay.
to select his lucky item.
Oh. So now he has 2. Okay, this is better. This is a lot better, but
And because he just escaped from those 2 fights, we don't know for certain what he's got.
true. If he could land like a Heavenly Host here, for example, that'd be pretty good. The problem is there's no Agatha, right? It's still a 1v1. There's no Agatha. This could go really bad for him,
Yeah.
depending on what he has and how Dracula. No planned ambush either, I don't think.
Nope. This is just a
Oh.
straight encounter.
It seems really bad for John Stewart, actually. I'm a little bit
Yeah, this is-
confused why he chased him so aggressively. I assumed Mina had excellent weather to, like, essentially pile in.
Mesmerize. Rifle.
No, he actually probably has Holy Wolves, doesn't he? This is not good.
Unless he's got double rifle. I don't know why you
That's
do
true.
that, but you could.
Could have Lucky Find it to get a second rifle. I mean, no, I think having a second rifle here with nope, there's no
no
ally in
rifle.
play.
Yep. Rufus is taking the day off, it seems.
Yeah, they haven't found an ally yet, which is a little bit. Well, they found John's marker, I think, but they used him to
They
search
found Johnny Boy,
because
yeah.
they found him after it wasn't really relevant. That's true. If he can damage Dracula enough that the C movement is bad, that's true. But he's so weak, right? And now he's mesmerized. I feel like there's a decent chance if he could just feed here and try to kill John Stewart tomorrow, depending on how this combat goes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit again. Maybe I'm a little more. I like doing the ambitious plays, but I mean, unless Mina drew excellent weather. If she drew it, that would be bad. If she supplied and got it today and then could use it.
Oh, he just go for the bite. Oh,
And he did have double rifle. So now he heals to 14. John Stewart has a bite. He gets an influence point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't
If he
stay
really
though.
if he really wants to, he could force a day fight now, knowing what he's
Right,
got. But
I don't know if he
think
wants
it's
to
risky.
anymore, right? Because I think John Stewart's too high health. If John Stewart was at like 2 or something, I guess he can always heal. He can heal to 7 as well. I don't think you necessarily want to stay.
Yeah, I
But
would stay.
He got an influence point, which again makes it so he has to walk 1 less day. Obviously, we know there's a vampire lair, so probably will still be 3 days. But he healed for 2.
There's still
giving
that
John
Rune
Stewart a-
Granada that he hasn't dealt with yet, though Helsing is there.
Yeah, I assume Van Helsing, he has a stake. He's going to deal with it. John Stewart did take no damage, so he's probably not going to stay, I think. The downside of fanging him is that he's probably not going to stay and fight him because there's no real chance to kill him tomorrow. And somebody could have drawn an excellent weather.
Yeah. The other problem is he now can't rumor here.
Ooh, you're right. Yeah, if he goes to C now.
He can't rumor the new vampire. If he
Is
goes to
there a-
see feed or anything, he can't. It's just impossible now.
Is there a world where he stays on the assumption that even though maybe he can't kill John Stewart can't really kill him? Is
Uh,
that a possibility? I mean, I don't know. The feed is a lot worse now that he already has 14 health.
Well,
He's not going to get as much out of it.
well, his options at that point are he tries to go. He basically has to double strength, and then he'll get holy bulleted. He'll deal 4 damage, and then Seward tries to escape or something.
That's true. I suppose if we assume he has a holy bullet, that could be bad because if he takes 5 damage from a holy bullet, it's not good.
Or he mesmerizes double strength, and then
Right, and then
he
you get like
whisks away.
free
That'll be his,
value.
that'll be
But
his only
you
escape
know,
with no damage.
assuming that he doesn't have, assuming his combat hand works out, right? It's kind of a gamble there. Is your combat hand
Yeah.
gonna help
Do you
you
get those
take no
4
damage?
cards?
I think you probably just leave. I
Yeah.
think this is good enough. And even if John Stewart's following you, who cares? You just go.
Yeah. Go Turian, go to the boot, or Ionian.
Maybe the only reason I would stay, and I don't know if this is crazy, if you think Granada's gonna mature and you're gonna be able to get that sea space off the trail if you stay a little bit longer.
If
But I
Granada
think
matures, the game's over.
right, I don't think oh yeah. Well, like the vampire that could stop it, but yeah, you're right. It's not gonna mature. I think we know Van Helsing has a stake. It's not gonna mature.
Oh, he's dark calling.
Ooh, Dark Call.
Yeah. He is completely not afraid.
Oh, interestingly, the lucky find by the way, did get rid of a horse.
Oh. So there's only 2 horses, and one of them is currently on an island.
Yes. Wait, do we know Van Helsing has a horse? Or not Van Helsing, Seward? Do we know Seward has a horse?
He had a horse, so
Yeah,
maybe he
he has a
discarded
horse.
the horse with the.
Ooh, maybe that's where, yeah, because it is the last card. That would make sense, actually. That's probably what happened. Oh, that makes
Okay.
me want to leave even more if his mobility sucks. Get out of there.
Well,
I don't like this. I don't
yeah,
like
this
this
is.
Red Vigor. Mm. I guess the upside of it is if you're staying and then you can maybe stay another turn by feeding and then you'll get more out of the feed because now you've taken more damage, but I feel like you're underestimating John Stewart's capacity to hurt you right now.
There's also the mystery event in Granada.
It's got to be a
It's.
vampire, and Van
I'm.
Helsing's probably going to deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to mature. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it could be the ultimate brewer, the jar of dirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would. Oh,
The
actually,
river
hold
jar of dirt
on.
would be.
Assuming Van Helsing doesn't have a holy heavenly host, that could be really good.
Yeah. That's
Although I
3
imagine
more
it
cards.
probably does,
You
but
get to reshuffle your hand, your
Mhm.
deck, and get 3 more cards. You're sitting on 13 cards in Dracula's encounter hand.
I don't like this though. This day fight could go really bad depending on what his hand is, right? It could go really bad. On the other hand, it could kind of be okay if he does have like I don't know both the strength, both the mesmerizes, and he knows that he only has rifles in hand. This could be okay, and I suppose he could fang and get health back, but again, the holy bullets are always a problem.
Yeah. Like I said, mesmerize strength, escape is missed.
Maybe you think he's gonna punch, so you fang.
Well, opening mesmerize. Yep, there's the
Oh, that's
rifle.
good. That's really good. Getting that mesmerized down is huge. I mean,
Right.
it's not
It's
gonna.
only
It's
4 damage
holy
if he
bullets.
gets fully bulleted.
Hmm.
That's just basically a heavenly host.
Right, and we know he doesn't have. Yeah. Feels like he has a lot of vampires. He's only used one of his fogs. We know he has these 2 vampires here. Like reshuffling his deck, I don't know if he's gonna get a bunch of good stuff reshuffled back into it.
Yeah.
He hasn't used
Plus,
that
there's
many.
also the 3 he layered.
That's true.
Fangs. Escape. Alright, so
Ooh, well
that's.
read. It's well read by Dracula. They're not playing his strength. Gives him his health back. So now this has turned out great, right? Dracula stayed. He essentially didn't take any damage from the Dark Call. I mean, is John Stewart gonna leave? If he doesn't leave, he's taking the night fight again. Does he want to do a night fight with Dracula?
With 7 help or 1 more event card. Oh, wait. That's assuming Van Galming supplies and gets rid of the Dracula event, and underneath that's a good event.
Maybe I was making fun of the staying with the Dark Call, but it's worked out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
now John Steward's in the opposition. If John Stewart leaves, then he's going to be a turn ahead of Dracula, which is not where you want to be. If he stays, Then he's gonna have to fight Dracula at night, which is bad.
And he's got the speed telegraph in hand, revealed.
Oh, he's
Mistake.
dealing. Oh, but he's gonna have to fight one of the vampires because you can't take both of them.
No,
But
this is Granada. It was a new
Oh, this is
vampire.
Granada. Wait, no, it's not. This is
Yeah.
Pagliari.
Oh, it
No,
was
this...
Cagliari.
Now he's gonna have to fight the Reckless. Is John Seward like got a death wish? What's going on right now?
Yeah,
I guess he's
Randiv is
getting rid of it.
definitely in the driver's seat here.
I suppose if he thinks that John Seward's gonna die anyway, you might as well get rid of that vampire so that you don't have to worry about those 3 points.
Yeah,
I suppose
this
that's a
vamp's
fair
gonna
way to look
disappear
at
when
it.
he comes off the trail.
Hmm.
And Seward's get. I mean, Van Helsing's gonna
Yeah.
take care of the.
That day fight was your real chance, I think, to get a lot of damage on Dracula. Like if he had punched turn one instead of rifling, right? And then he punches him through the mesmerize, and then he like I don't know, he rifles and holy bullets. Like yeah. Yes, guys, that's what I'm saying, right? This was
You got the mesmerize off.
Seward had chances to deal damage during the day fight and then maybe leave at the dawn fight and then leave during the day, making Dracula have to leave maybe, but
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mina
But
doesn't have an excellent weather. This is gonna turn bad.
right, I assumed Mina had an excellent weather from the get-go. I thought that's why he was running John Seward at him like a madman, because I assumed that Mina was going to join, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah, Heroic Leap's not gonna finish. It's only gonna put Dracula down to 9 health at this point. And if he really wants to, he can feed and just hide out here another turn.
That's true. If John Seward dies, he can just feed in KBR, right? Who's going to hurt him? If Mina comes to fight him, then Mina's, I feel like, it's not in a great situation.
He's gonna have to deal with the Reckless Vamp and Dracula.
Right, it's going to be another
Back to
1v1.
9.
You want the 2v1, not the 1v1. Ooh. Oh, is he gonna holy bullets the Reckless Vampire, do you think?
We're about to find out, but I don't think so.
We don't think he has a heroic leaf Strider because we haven't been getting prompts for it. Maybe though that would make sense if he's staking this vampire. Maybe he's gonna get maybe someone got heroic leap and now he's going to be given it so he can use it today. And he knows he's gonna die, so that's why he's getting rid of like.
Yep, there's holy bullets. He is gonna take care of Reckless.
Okay, so I think Strider's actually on something here. Maybe he's gotten heroic leap, and that's why he's kind of using all his resources, is because he knows he's gonna die.
I'll put him up to 10 victor influence after that.
Although, let's see if Van Helsing trades with him today. I feel like if that's happening, maybe there's a trade happening.
Yep, he had to take care of the Astro Vamp.
Right. Well, he could have done it at night, but, you know, maybe he discarded a stake.
First.
Well, no, couldn't Van Helsing still have dealt with that vampire, though, even if John Seward died? Like, wasn't that...
Oh yeah, I forgot night. Yep, there's the heroic leap.
He did have a heroic leap. He must have gotten it later, though. I assume if maybe he didn't, maybe he had it at the beginning and didn't want to use it.
Right.
Maybe
I just missed the prompt, too.
Well, the problem with this is, even if Dracula can just feed, and if Mina lands on him, what is Mina going to do, right? It's just Mina, right? I mean...
Mina, mesmerize, bite, and that's game.
Even if she's well equipped out...
Or just blind bite and hope for the Holy Heavenly Host, even.
Like, I suppose maybe he draws a bad hand, and then Mina can, like, knife him or something, and, like, deal damage to him enough that he can't really leave effectively. I think that's the Hunter dream here, maybe, is you move Mina on, Dracula's hand sucks, you are able to deal enough damage, and then get away.
Alright. Dracula can either go for the feed or leave.
Yeah, yes, you did call it Strider. Yes, you did.
Alright, I'll go pick up the phone.
Do we think he's feeding? Feeding feels okay here, right? I mean...
Yeah, you're not really a danger if you feed here.
If you feed, let me think. If you feed, you move on Thursday, Friday. You're probably going to have to land before you are starting to start getting points. But there's no reason to leave, right? I mean, you're kind of fine.
The moment he leaves, he wins. I mean, the moment he lands, he wins if he gets that far in. Again, well, even if no Rufus Smith to deal with.
Even if he feeds today, right? He will have to land within 3 moves. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Will have to land on Sunday. So they will have a chance to get him. But they have no one over there in the East, right? I mean,
he's beating.
I think it's a good call. I don't think you need to leave.
Yeah.
Is John Seward in Madrid Hospital right now? Where? Or
Um,
oh, it must be
I believe it'd be
it must be
Rome.
Rome, right? It's got to be Rome.
Yeah, Rome is 2 spaces away.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Does it count C movement like that? Okay.
Cagliari, Tyrion.
But yeah, I
So
mean, yeah, if he goes east, right? Even if there's a concentrated ground, he could go to like Bucharest, for example, and then know that Klausenberg and the Galatz won't get concentrated grounded. I assume that any good events that John Stewart had on, Van Helsing was able to get off because there was a lot of Van Helsing training going on there.
yeah,
My question, I feel like I don't think you could have known that Dracula was going to stay before he dark hauled, right? Because I think to me it looked like he
it
was
was a
probably just going
risk.
to leave, right? And then so I think maybe you don't move me now because if you move me now and then he leaves, you're kind of
Bear in mind,
in a bad spot.
he still has the 3 night supplies he can use too.
Has he not been using them?
Nope, he has not done a single night supply yet after Mystic Research.
I mean, now is the time though, especially in John Stewart. I suppose get him in some state of form so that maybe he can go after Dracula. Let's see, I'm curious what items he discarded.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
he's
well, it was
gonna
just two. It
get
was just two
ahead.
rifles, obviously.
He's not gonna fight him. Just get ahead of him.
Guess that's fair. Although I feel like she has horses. She should just be on land moving. She doesn't need to be at sea. Because Dracula does have to leave. That is true. But
Yeah,
I
Dracula
mean,
stalled as long as he can. He has to go now.
yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
time in Cagliari though.
yeah. He's bought the T-shirts. He's got a postcard sent to Seward in the hospital saying, "Wish you were here on the beach."
Wish you were still here so I could drain you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now just yeah, with it just with still just kind of handwritten in.
I think the only I think now the hunters need Dracula to mix. Dracula needs to get greedy for the IDS. I think if Dracula starts to get greedy for the IDS and maybe starts to lands before he has to, there could be a chance here. But if he just, I think if he plays to his out, this
Yeah.
this could be bad. And I agree with Scott's word. I think if she landed and she had
Right.
like a planned ambush and she had a good combat hand, because
Yeah.
I hope she does. She's been
Just
flying a lot. It could have been
just
bad, but
yeah. Just to go out onto the IDS thing. Against me, he went down negative 14 points, so he definitely would need that IDS if it came down to a tiebreaker.
right. But you don't want to get in the spot where you go for the IDS and like because I've done it before where I've been like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to Castle
Play
Dracula
for
for
the
my
IDS
IDS
before you
and then
win.
been punished for. I still won that game, but I was at lower health than I would have been if I had just
Yeah.
beat
Not
it
gotten
out instead
greedy.
of yeah. Well, I suppose there's the argument that if he lands in like Sofia, right, instead of going to Black Sea, he just like will forms to Sofia. What's gonna happen to him? I mean, maybe Hidalgo will start moving over there now. I imagine, probably. I assume. Yeah, that could be bad actually. You gotta assume he has a second fog at this point, but we've also haven't seen a single forewarned, so I imagine there's at least one forewarned running around. Probably John Stewart had a forewarned, I imagine.
Right. And on Friday of week 3, he's about to run out the item deck finally.
Yep. I think that was you actually, Schreider. It was something like that. I remember it was not great. I felt pretty bad about it afterward because I should have just I should have just won the. I shouldn't have tried to go to Castle Dracula for HP. It was a bad idea. I think it might have been you. Yeah.
So, he's in Turanian, so have to go to Ionian to just keep up with him.
I think you probably just land Mina, right? You land Mina in like Salonika because he's probably gonna go east. If he doesn't go east, then you kind of already have people over there. I don't think moving by sea again is a good idea.
Hey, there's a night supply. It's kind of weird seeing just the one deck down at the bottom now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is weird. Yeah, there's no Dracula encounters either. Hmm. But yeah, I think Dracula's probably got this. Unless, I mean, the Hunters still have a chance. There hasn't been a concentrated ground could come down. There's still a renewed vigor left in the deck. This could still go but poorly for Dracula. There's still chances, and they have a good amount of events. I wouldn't count them out, right? We've seen the Hunters come back from worse.
Yep. It's not over till the final card's played.
And with that Vampire Lair, he would actually need to move twice if Mina can play the Vampire Lair. I don't know if she has a stake, but
Yeah. Let's check discard.
I think there's probably one stake
One,
left, right? I
two.
thought I saw two in the discard, maybe.
Alright, so there's two stakes left. All the
Yeah.
Heavenly Hosts are in hands.
Maybe Mina does have stakes on. Although I wonder why she didn't play the
Well,
she didn't play the Vampire Lair while she was sitting in Marseille for 10 years. I guess she was supplying.
There's also a Holy Circle in someone's hand.
Maybe that's what Mina has. If she had a Holy Circle, though, she probably should have just gone in there against Dracula, right? She has one weapon. She can get out of there whenever she wants. I guess that puts her a turn behind Dracula. Now she's a turn ahead of him. You could theoretically land before he lands.
Actually, when I went against Randiv, I actually did a 2v1 with a low health Van Helsing and just used the Holy Circle as a defensive option.
No, I mean, I think Holy Circle can be really big, especially if you you bat someone into a night fight and then they just Holy Circle. It feels pretty bad. That's a lot of resources expended just to get like a Holy Circle used.
Well,
Yeah, I've been
got now also burned one of two Holy Circles in the entire deck.
Well, right, but if I kind of think Holy Circles are bad, so I'm not like, oh, thank God they used a Holy Circle. I'm like, why did I make it an effective use, right? Why did I let this happen?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Holy Circle either, but like I said, I have had it come up that one time.
Yeah.
Where
especially
it's an entire vampire going down.
Yeah, so the question for is Dracula thinking about like wolf forming now? How good would that be? I guess Gun Steward's probably not a threat because he doesn't have anything, but
alright, he's done his last C movement, so Scott Swords. Oh wait, no, he's got one more left.
Yeah, if he can move one more, which would be
that took so long. I actually forgot he needs one more movement.
He could go Adriatic or
black.
We've got to see some allies soon, right? I mean, there's got to be an Agatha. Or a Rufus would be a little bit, I suppose, pretty good.
Evil
he's not adjacent to Mina right now.
Yeah.
It's technically on the same space,
Yeah. Mina's currently at the back of the ship just swearing at Dracula as he's tailgating their ship.
Not the SS Wolf I see on the horizon.
Yeah.
I don't know. She probably lands though, right? Like lands in Salonika probably, because if he's in Adriatic and he wolf forms west,
what's the Roman
you got
Demeter
over there. Oh, it was the name. Like, I was just saying wolf because wolf form, but you're right. The Demeter was the name of the ship, which is like
I'm asking what the Roman equivalent is, because Rome basically.
Oh, of Demeter.
Yeah, what's the Roman name for her?
The Roman name is. Ooh, let me think about that.
Instead of the Demeter, it's that one.
Hold on. I should know this. I like mythology a lot. I should be able to. The Roman name for Demeter would be.
Right, he's gonna land in 46, which is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think landing 46 was the best option because I think that you were what's the word? You knew that he's probably even if he goes to Adriatic and then wolf forms, you already have a lot of people that are west. I think you need more people east. So I think landing her now, letting her get an extra supply is big. I feel like it's a planet. Aren't a lot of them named after planets? It's like Mars and Jupiter.
That's because the Roman names are the names of the planets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jupiter is Zeus, for example.
I looked it up. Yeah. Mars is Aries, Vulcan's I think like Hephaestus. I looked it up. There's no way I was gonna get Ceres. Ceres.
Okay, so it's the last word of the Ceres, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
That or my title card is accurate and Jack is just standing there holding a jar of dirt over his head to taunt her.
Does he wolf form now to like Sophia?
I mean, he's wolf forming somewhere. Or
Could be
oh
moving
no,
by
he did
sea.
go
Okay.
one last sea movement.
Yeah. So I think Landing is really good. You get the extra supply off, or you can move her to like Sophia to block off that wolf form or Bucharest.
Now for Scott
Probably
Sword.
Sophia.
Now to see if Scott Sword's prediction is true. Does he have the money trail?
That's true. Mitro would
If
be huge. If he could play it like on Godalming right now, he could then immediately move everyone else east post haste, right?
yep. Yep, there's the money trail on
He did have the
Godalming.
money trail.
Where'd he land? Adriatic.
Adriatic. Ooh. So then maybe you don't want to move them nearly as much. You want to chill out a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. So if you're Dracula now, oh, there's the vampire lair. And Hell's
Yep, that's
took it.
big. That's good. I'm glad to see someone using it. I think
Now
especially.
Mia's got planned ambush. Alright, so now he's got to make
Mhm.
2 moves to finish the game.
Yes,
So
that's big. And he's gonna have to land
turns.
today, right? Yeah.
yeah, he's locked in. He has to land.
So this is still up in the air, right? If he goes, he can't really go west very effectively because there's so many people over there. So he's got to go east. And if he goes east, he's kind of like stuck for a while.
He's stuck with Mina.
Scotsword. That would be a good plan, I think.
CG
If you
would be
had
the
concentrate
dream,
grounds,
but does he have it?
he could
Sounds
even
like
hold
so.
it one more day, right? Like, let's say he lands right now in like Sophia wolf forms like Sophia. You could wolf still wolf him. You could still see GM effectively. It would still be good. Yeah, to block 55, he's saying. 55 would be... Oh, to block Valona, so he has to land.
So
Oh.
he has to land west. That would be powerful, but doesn't look like he had it.
Or he's holding it. I think holding it is also fine. I think if he lands, you can then play the CG later to then essentially force him to move like towards you. Like if let's say he will form Sophia right now, right? And you have the full concentrated ground. You concentrated ground Bucharest,
Uh,
Varna, Belgrade, and maybe like Salonika, and then move someone like get Godalming if you have a renewed vigor or something. Get everybody else. If there's like because there's got to be some movement events. They haven't been played. There's definitely some sense of emergencies, some chartered carriages.
yeah. I agree with you, Scott Sword. CG now would be better if he had it. That's the problem.
Well,
Does he have it?
if he lands in the east, right, he has to land, or not in the east, in the west. He's got to land in, what is it, Naples,
540,
Florence,
37,
Munich, or,
Milan.
what is it, Milan, right?
Milan, yeah. Why do I keep calling it that? I I got the perfect move for him right now.
I do
Wolf
think if he doesn't have,
to
if he doesn't have a
Athens.
wolf form to Athens, oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it's always
you bring it
Athens.
in. No one would ever find out you were in Athens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I think that my process if he doesn't have renewed vigor, I think you're probably right. If he does have renewed vigor, I think that if he saves it and he lands in the east, then I suppose that the problem now is you're not going to know where he lands, right? Like he's going to wolf form presumably today, or maybe he won't. But if he doesn't, if he does wolf form, you have to check everything, and then
Yeah.
if you're wasting your time checking everything and he actually landed east, then it's really bad because he's had time. So I suppose that's fair. If you can CG to know where he will be so you can plan your
Yeah.
moves.
You also know he can't hide or. Oh, wait, no, he'll be able to hide once he
Yeah.
lands.
He's getting all his stuff back actually just in time. It's very convenient for him.
Yeah. And he's got 9 encounters in his hand, so he's got his options.
Yeah, I mean, we joked about Athens, but I mean, I guess Consecrated Ground would be really bad if he was in Athens.
Yeah. There's the
That
wolf
would be a
form.
death sentence. Okay,
Not
so
necessarily. Oh yeah, that would be a death sentence. He'd have to move to Ionian, and that would kill him after the Dracula penalty.
well, he would take 7. He'd be at 1, or I suppose if you wolf form, yeah, then he would
No,
just
he's
die.
got 7
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
He
No,
moved.
no, I didn't account for that 1 health from the wolf form. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see what Scott's saying. I think it could be good. Uh,
This game's not over, but
Look, I think
it's
the
gonna
Hunters
actually.
have a
Both
good
sides are
shot
gonna have to play
actually.
carefully.
Look, I think the Hunters have a good shot here, right? Like a surprising return right now to search space would be really nice.
There's surprise return.
Here we go.
Johnny Boy's coming
There's
back.
Sophia, maybe I thought.
He's not in Athens.
Ooh,
Okay, he was thinking the same thing I was.
He's tapping into our broadcast here, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
Rude
that would
Vigor.
figure.
Long night. He's
I
going all
agree.
in.
Ugh, the long night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that he probably has a 4-1 because he hasn't used any of them yet. He's gone so deep in the deck. Unless John Stewart had one and he discarded it when he died, which is
Yeah.
possible.
We know he had a speed telegraph when he died.
Mm-hmm. He discarded 2 events, so the other one could have been a forewarned. I think he probably had a forewarned. I think it's why he threw him in there like that.
Balming is going for an event card first.
It's fair. Oh, I suppose you kind of want to move a lot now, right? Maybe you
Yeah.
can check like Milan and Munich with Godalming. The problem is right now, let's say he moves John Stewart to like, I don't know, Venice or something. He moves him away and Dracula lands in Naples. I feel like that's not great. Although I suppose he can't get to sea. The sea space is gonna be out there for a while, actually.
Alright, he
So
did go to
Naples landing
Naples.
isn't great. Okay.
Yeah.
Now do you have to check Bari too? I see why the CG would have been good, right? Because now you don't have to do all this checking. You can just kind of
Yeah. Here's your
you know for
choices. You
certain.
get this or this.
Right.
Column A or column B, Drac.
Because he could just be in like Sophia laughing right now because they're all moving over here when he's just in the east, right?
Well, to be fair, Mina has to move last, so he may already
Oh,
know.
sense of emergency to move one space to check Bari.
Well,
Mm,
I don't really like it either, but now he knows for certain he's not in the West.
right. I think Scottsburg was right actually. I'm looking at this playing out. You should, if you have CG, I think he's right. You should have just played it, made him go to the west,
Yeah,
and then
CG would have been best when he was at sea and limited options.
yeah. I mean, if he has it now, it's still fine. It still could be good, but it could have been better. I suppose we went to Athens.
Actually, no.
You just get him.
Actually, with CG, he could have just won outright. Block 55, block 5, block 57, Dracula
Not
penalty.
quite. Dracula would
one more damage.
right.
Two
He
health.
would right. He would be at 2. He would still be alive. Wouldn't have been great, but
No, that wouldn't
he
work.
would
Yeah,
have
you're right.
he would have been able to move to maybe Tyrrhenian. Then it gives him more options.
Yeah. But then Tyranny would put him at 1 health, and then know he has to be getting off there. And he wouldn't be able to wolf either. He'd have 3 options he could be at. Oh, wait, no, 4.
No, he could roll 4.
40, 45.
He would be at 2, I suppose, and then he would have
Yep.
1 more that'd be at 1. So he could have blow like landing Cagliari again. It could have been annoying.
Yeah.
I think it's better if I
8
make
to
him land
5,
somewhere.
8 to 3, to 2, to 1, to 3, and then he's got 1 space he can move.
2037. What is he saying? Oh, he's saying maybe he went to Florence. Or Milan. Milan's been checked. Okay. If he's in Florence, he could get into the kilt, but didn't go to Sofia. That would have been my guess. I thought he was in Sofia. That was my, I didn't say it, but that's what I was thinking.
He did wolf to Valona.
If
Yeah,
there's,
reckless vamp, so he may not have the fog.
this could be bad though, right? If he has a concentrated ground, right, he can force him to move
He'd have to hide.
to Sarajevo. Make him move to Sarajevo, and then you can get Godalming there for sure. Probably one other person. Oh no, there's no Renewed Vigor anymore, so probably just Godalming. Yeah, I agree with you, Scott, but I thought it was Sophia probably.
Yeah.
How many counter names does Mina have? She has 2. She has a planned ambush though, right? This makes this like slightly better. Dracula's on 7 HP. She could kill him. I've seen crazier things. It is a shame sense of emergency's been used, especially just to move 1.
If Dracula
agree with you there.
yeah. If she's got knifed Heavenly Host, that would be almost certainly a win.
I mean, not quite. She's gonna
Especially
get
planned
4
ambush.
for sure, but then, he could have the cancel events to stop her from doing anything else.
Well,
Possible.
he's probably gonna play the planned ambush first.
Well, he's got it. Whatever. Okay.
Right.
He's trying to fight the vampire. Oh, maybe thought he was gonna fang for the points. That's fair.
Yeah. Reckless gets that bite off.
Does the bite matter? We're at what is it?
I
We're at
believe so.
9 points
He's
right
at
now?
9. Yep, that'd be 10,
Ooh, that
which
bite
means one
matters
move
a
further away.
lot. Yeah. Question is, does Mina have like double knife or something crazy? Yeah, I think they're right. He really doesn't want Dracula. That point would mean a huge amount, right? Really scared of the fangs. Probably cares more about the fangs than like Mina taking a little bit more damage in this fight, honestly. Although the problem is if Dracula heals more because he fangs Mina during their fight,
Well,
Dracula's taking a
now,
long time, right?
yeah.
I think it's because he has a fangs and he doesn't know if Mina has like a second knife. And he doesn't know if he should play fangs.
Well,
That's my
if you're
guess.
that
That's why
if that nervous right now, I'd say go for Mesmerize. Cancel whatever he's got. Yep, there's Mesmerize.
Mm,
And he was trying to escape.
okay. Then now it feels bad. You wish you fangs to there, right? That fangs
Yeah.
would have been really good. Okay. So now you just strength, right? Because you know he's not going to be. Remember you plot if you think he's going to dodge. Certainly don't fangs though.
Yeah, Fangs is the one thing you don't want to do this turn.
Unless you think he's going to punch, but seems unlikely. Yeah,
Strength.
strength is fair. Make sure the vampire doesn't die.
Yeah, it's a dodge.
hmm Now we're in the situation where Mina could knife or escape. If the vampire plays a fangs, right, he'll either get the point
Or get killed.
or get killed, or he can play like a strength or something and assume that she's going to knife, does 2 more damage to her. Because if Dracula kills Mina, it's also the game, right? And there's
Yeah,
no
kill.
like,
Yeah.
if he can get her within like claw range.
But this always comes down to the same question as always. What's in the vampire's hand?
That's true.
He's going for the fangs.
Ooh.
The knife.
Yeah. It's fair. I think as a 100 there, even if Mia's going to take 2 more damage, I think you just play out the knife, right? You don't want him getting that point. That point is so huge. I think Fangs came too little too late, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He had one chance to play that Fangs, and I mean, I assumed he was going to like dodge or something that turn, so difficult to
There's the planned
read.
ambush.
I think this is huge though, right? Mia needs to deal like significant damage / kill Dracula right here. She has 7 health, so she's not like on death's
Yeah.
door, which is nice. And Scott's sword,
Yeah.
I think it's a fair point, right? That vampire living doesn't matter very much, so there's the small chance that you're gonna get a point. I think that point is worth,
Alright,
you know.
so we know that there's a planned ambush going on, and Mia's got 1 mystery card in her hand still. What do you do as Dracula?
Against a planned ambush here,
You know, with the no knife.
it really depends on your fight, on your hand. I think if you have a trash hand, you probably just plot. If you have a good hand, maybe you play. I think they're right. She probably has Heavenly Host Knife. If you assume she has Heavenly Host Knife,
Double claws. Just go for the claw win.
maybe you just play Claws, yeah. But the problem is there could be a great strength. Oh, I don't
Mesmerize.
like that. She's
Now,
probably gonna Heavenly Host, right?
yeah, Heavenly Host or Punch. We'll know for certain if she has a Heavenly Host
If she
now.
doesn't have Heavenly Host, this is great. If she does have Heavenly Host, it's terrible.
If she has Heavenly Host, it cancels the Mesmerize.
Oh, well, right. I'm saying the Mesmerize is terrible if she has a Heavenly Host to cancel it and deal 4 damage, right? Because then Dracula gets literally nothing. But she doesn't. You have Double Knife. She doesn't have a. She must. If she had a Heavenly Host, she would definitely play it, right?
Yeah, that
She
would
would
have been the
definitely play it.
time. Yeah, you stop the Memorize and you get the 4 points. Dracula may know
Maybe
you have a knife, but he's also down to 3 hit points, so he's got to fear that knife.
maybe she has Double Knife.
And he's
Maybe
only got
that's
1 Mesmerize left.
it's following the Scout Sword mentality of having Double Knife on Mina. Problem though is now that he knows you probably don't have a Heavenly Host, he's probably not going to play a Fangs into your knife anymore.
Yep, there's the second Mesmerize for the knife.
I see what Scott's saying about could be left. Use Heavenly Host next turn, but I feel like you just You got that's so good. The Heavenly Host is so good there. It stops the Mesmerize, which prevents her from dealing damage with her knives. It does 4 damage to him. I feel that's a bluff you could do, sure. I feel like the value of just throwing it out there is greater though than the bluff value. Because then you're in the situation where if you knife next turn, he doesn't have a stop, you kill him, right? And he can't heal because if he tries to throw out the fangs, then you could have played your knife maybe, and then he just dies, right? I like that a lot more than I like this situation where now she's mesmerized. If she has double knife, she's probably not gonna be able to kill him now because she has to deal. They only deal 2 damage. Yeah, it's. I agree with Strider. This is not good. That planned ambush did not have. I assume that planned ambush was a guaranteed like 3 to 4 damage, and instead it was not.
Let's go for the plot
Ooh,
against
she
the
did a double
knife.
knife. Double knife. Okay, so but the problem is he's just gonna have the strength now, right? The plotting's gonna get him the strength. Right. That's assuming that he. I agree that he probably wouldn't play Fangs turn two, on the assumption that you would play Knife. So if you do have Bluff the Heavenly, I'm talking to Scott's with Fang, 5 damage over two
I
turns
mean,
better than using Heavenly Earth than not having Bluff. But for the audience who might not be seeing it, I agree that that's good, and he's probably not going to play a Fangs turn two because he knows that he has a Knife. But
at
I
this
feel
point,
like
if you're Drac, you just kind of go for the strength. Yeah, try
yeah,
and break
double
one of
knife.
the
Now
knives.
that Mina's mesmerized, double knife is. I mean, it's not garbage, but it's not good. It's not going to kill Dracula. Now that it is a plotting off, it's not very good either because she can't really escape. The thing is, if Mina doesn't die here, this is not the worst. If there's a consecrated ground right now, he could be pushed into like Sarajevo, and then could maybe be a 2v1, assuming that he doesn't have a fog. But
Actually, let's say if all three of the other hunters have it, you can just Dracula penalty and kill him at this point.
I don't think so because he can
Oh yeah,
stay there. He has
he can
his
hide.
feet up, but.
Yeah, and hide.
Yeah, I think Dracula just if he plays his
He
strength
can't
at this
feed.
point.
He's only hides coming off the trail.
Oh, hides come off the trail.
Yeah,
Oh,
hide, then
okay.
dark call, then feed. Yeah, this is
He
where
just
you
plays
want to strength
strength.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is what you cancel.
you
Oh,
cancel and break the first knife.
yeah. I feel like you just probably like try to escape there and then get the escape canceled, but at least then he's used his plotting.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, Mina cannot lose her second knife. If Mina loses her second knife, it's she's gonna be useless, right? You need
Yeah,
to keep that knife.
yeah. Drac right here goes for claws again. I mean, not claws. Goes for strength. Either you break the knife or you hit her again.
I might play
Then if
Claw.
you
Oh,
have
no,
claws,
I
you
don't
kill
think
her.
you're not playing Claws actually. Claws is a bad idea.
No,
Yeah.
claws after double strength. Here's the second strength.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, he can cancel the punch. No, he's not canceling the punch. You crazy?
Strength will cancel the punch for you. You don't have to.
Yeah. Now the
But now you
problem is
go.
now she can play knife turn 6, right? And he can't break it, and he
You
can't
cancel it.
mesmerize it, right? So unless he has escape his myth, this knife might actually deal some damage. The problem is she might die from the claws on the crackback.
Yeah, he can't escape his bat anymore. Actually, if he's got claws now, he kills Mina and wins.
Yeah. Unless he
Because
doesn't,
fall will
unless
resolve first.
they have great strength, maybe we don't know, but
Yeah, yeah. There's been enough. Well, claws win unless it's
John Stewart could have had the great strength as well, right? We don't know what his
no.
second event
If he
card
had
was that he discarded.
if he had great strength, he could have used that to save himself.
Not from a heroic leap, only saves it from
Oh yeah, I
combat
forgot.
damage.
I forgot that. But don't forget, he was doing all that training. He would have saved that one definitely. Yep, there's the game.
Probably.
Claws will
Wait,
finish
hold
off
on.
Nelly's great strength.
Is there a great strength? There is. Okay.
Okay.
Mina's not gonna die. That's huge. So
Good.
now Dracula's at 2.
Yeah, and he
Hmm.
can hide and stay for a day fight.
Does he even want
It'll
a
be
day?
a
Oh, I
it will
suppose
be
he
a
probably
knife
does.
fight at the end of the day, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If Mina could get another planned ambush right now, that would be good.
yeah, that would be
Like it
game.
could be traded across or something.
Well,
I think we've only seen one. We've seen the
yeah,
Lucky Find and the Heroic Leap, though. Or Agatha. Agatha. Oh, this Agatha doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Not super important. I guess it would mean that we need a concentrated ground, is what we need. We need to push Dracula into Sarajevo. That way, Godalming can get on him. That would be good.
well, He could also just hide in 55 and take a day fight with Mina at 1 hit point.
Well, no, if you can
It's a
consecrate
very it'll be a
grounds
danger. Oh yeah, with some. I keep
to
forgetting
stop him from
CG.
doing that, right? Because I think that's a good idea for Dracula. Honestly, I think he probably wins that fight. I mean, it's risky, but
His cards will resolve first no matter what, so he would have the advantage. Strider's saying go to Athens.
honestly, if Athens isn't knocked off the trail, going to Athens is not bad.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the consecrated ground then kills him. Actually, Athens is bad. Don't do Athens. I'm assuming there's got to be an
Oh, he's got. I forgot about the long night.
The long night is in effect.
Vampiric influence.
Uh,
Who do you go? Oh yeah, he.
Probably
he's a weak
Seward,
hunter,
I
right?
imagine, maybe? If you can snipe the consecrated ground
No.
out of Seward's hand, that would be good.
No, you have to choose a weakened hunter.
Oh, he's not
There's
weakened
only one
anymore because he
option.
died. Yeah, he died. So I forgot that I know he got bitten. I forgot that he died. So he chooses Mina. Mina did have the forewarned. Did she get rid of the forewarned here, or the knife? Probably the knife, right?
No, Randiv gets to choose.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, does Randy get rid of the knife, I probably gets rid of the knife, I assume.
Well, yeah, but then
Yeah.
I'll look at a second, and then push to a neighboring city. He can push me to Athens, walk to 50, and then
I think you do push me to Athens, honestly.
yeah, gear the horses, push me to Athens.
I
Knight can't help
you
you.
let her keep the horses. What's she gonna do? I mean,
Well, she can catch up and try to fight you one-on-one still.
with nothing, right? She can punch, which is relevant season 2. He did get rid of the knife, notably.
Got rid of 2 cards. I got to look at this again because
Hold on. Does it make
Knight
him discard
supplied.
boat? Oh, he Knight supplied.
gave him another card.
Oh god.
Roadblock. Come on, Roadblock.
Roadblock would be.
Summon Storm.
Oh, that's not that good. Okay, yeah, of course.
Well, you can still block off the Adriatic.
Well,
Stop.
it means that Seward
Excellent
can't
weather.
excellent weather, but he doesn't have any event cards, so he probably wasn't going to do that anyway. But
It still locks
yeah.
off the potential.
yeah, it's true. Doesn't hurt for sure, but could have been worse. You know, I think if you're the Hunters right now, seeing Dracula draw that Summon Storms right now is kind of fine. That's one of the tamer ones you could have seen. My question is there a CG? If there's not a CG, I think Dracula probably just has this. We need a CG like right now.
Alright, so you got to choose an item or. Okay, he's probably giving Sense of Emergency to.
Wait, there is
Or
no
Dom.
CG. He just wins. There's no CG because Tamina doesn't have it. Wow. Okay, so if there's no CG, he can just like move to any of those 3 spaces, probably Sophia or Salonika, and then he can just hide and win. And who's gonna stop him? This
He did get a night supply off, but
this is over. I mean, well, what's gonna happen, right? I mean, there's no CG. This is GG. Yeah. If there was a CG and maybe you force him to go to Sarajevo, you can maybe like with a sense of emergency get Van Helsing there, or
Sense of Emergency
you can.
on Goleming get 50.
Yeah, he has horses.
But
He could
that's
roll
assuming
horses
it's
to get
50.
there. I mean,
Nope.
there was chances, I think, but with him being able to move to Sofia or Salonika, I think he'll have plenty of time. There's still chance, I suppose. A chartered carriage could get Godalming not to Salonika. Could get him to Sofia though. Probably goes to
Sense of
Salonika, I
Emergency
imagine,
could
right?
also get him to Sophia.
Yeah. So Dracula is smart. Probably will just go to
Sarajevo,
Salonika.
50.
Probably, yeah. Probably will just go to Salonika, I imagine, because that's the safe play. Nobody's gonna get there. There's no more invaders going on. The only danger is if he draws CG today, because then he could die in Salonika.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's actually scary, because I think that's what the Hunters gotta do now. They gotta supply like there's no tomorrow, because that is, and they have a decent. They can draw 4 event. They draw 4 event cards.
Chartered carriage, so he's gonna go for the check in 50.
That's kind of fair. Maybe he went to 50. If he did go to 50, if he didn't go to 50, then
Sorry.
you could insta kill him and start.
Oh, he did go to 50.
Oh, here we go. Is there a fog? There's not a fog.
Bodyguards.
Oh
This
my
fight,
god.
this could be
He's
over.
pulling it back. Well, I thought it was over for sure. What's going on?
I think Scott Sword's GGing too early again.
He went to Sofia probably because he was scared that, I don't know, they would supply and get consecrated ground or something. Wow. Or maybe
Yeah,
they did Night Supply, so I suppose maybe they could have drawn it too late,
yeah.
but then they could have played it today.
He was probably thinking go to the castle when he didn't need to.
Well, I
I
don't
mean,
think
he's gone
he's
to
not.
Sarajevo. There's no rail line to work with.
Well, he's not
So
going to go
much
against the
cutlery.
castle. He's going to win before he gets there. But I mean, I
Yeah.
think Sophia
There's
prevents
Rufus
the
Smith.
Rufus Smith.
The
The
party's
problem
not
with
here
going.
until he shows
Yeah,
up.
I think Sophia was a fine move. The problem with going to Salon because if you don't get CG, then you just lose. Going to Sophia means that they have to have turret carriage, and then again, it's only
Valming's
a
got
one-on-one.
6 weapons in hand. He's decked for war.
Jeez.
This
Wow.
this
Maybe
is over.
Hunter's got this. This is crazy. I
Yeah.
assumed Dracula had it because there was no CG, but
Yeah. Dracula's only got 2
wow.
strengths he can play.
I think maybe you move to Salonika and then you pray that he doesn't have the CG. Although I feel like maybe he didn't have the CG and he waited until today to play it maybe. Although that seems
Mesmerize.
kind of risky.
Punch. Okay.
Ooh, that is
That
not a
puts
good
Dracula to
start.
1.
It's not a good start.
Yeah.
So now there's no more room for mistakes here.
Yeah.
He's got to last until what is it? He's got to last until round
Round
five.
5. He's got to go 3 more rounds
Mm,
before the bell can ring.
we know there's only one knife, so potential for Fangs to gain him health here is possible if he can break the knife or play Fangs when they play guns,
Yeah. Right
and
now
then
you just
be
want to play Strength. Or Mesmerize.
ooh, Mesmerize is good.
Yeah, rank
Ooh, now you
5.
can Fang. Now you can
Yeah.
Fang. Yeah, because if he Fangs, there's no more knives, right? There's no more knives to stop him. One of these is almost certainly a Heavenly Host in Godalming Sound.
Strider's on the crucifix train still. He's praying.
There's no way he's got a crucifix. 0% chance crucifix. There's no way, right? If he beat him with a crucifix, that would be incredible if there was a crucifix. No way. No way it's a crucifix. Right? We saw one was discarded. I don't know if we saw a second one.
I don't think so. It's been a while since I checked. I've been so focused on this, I haven't been checking the discard.
Well, yeah, I didn't think the crucifix numbers were going to be relevant, but
Here we are.
just it's probably like Heavenly Host gun, I imagine. That's my guess. Probably a rifle because all the pistols got discarded.
Yeah.
So you probably do you even okay? Here's the risky play. You plot because you think he's gonna dodge to avoid a
No,
fangs.
he's just going for the healing. There's Deadly Host that ends it.
Oh yeah, he just gets bitten and leaves the combat. Wow, Dracula
That's
even gets a better IDS.
yeah, and that's 13
Oh.
points with that bite.
Yeah, just going for it, hoping I suppose he didn't have the fangs, right? I mean, there was a chance he didn't draw it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know why you just go for the punch at that point.
he played punch round one. Oh, I suppose he plays Heavenly Host in case the
It's
Dracula. I don't
it was
know.
round 3 of the combat.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess Heavenly Host avoids. I'm not sure. I think either one of those options loses the fangs. I suppose. Oh, punch. Oh, Heavenly Host doesn't lose to strength though. Punch would get blocked by strength. Heavenly Host wouldn't.
Well,
So in the
Valming's
situation
got
where
the
he plays
health he can
strength,
take
that's
for
good.
that. Oh yeah, 2 Heavenly Hosts.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow. So Dracula's at 3 HP, week 4.
Yep. And no
Yeah.
CG. And Fangs was the top deck.
How did Randiv play both fogs? I only remember one.
He played 1. I guess the other one was discarded early for some reason.
Hmm. Well, certainly a good game.
Yeah.
Very, very. I thought for sure Dracula had it. I guess I assumed the hunters definitely had CG, but as shown, they don't always have it.
Yes, Strider, we know. Crucifix would have won that.
Okay, don't. Maybe you can put your crucifix mongering away. You know.
Yeah. Now we need a picture of Dracula with his jar of dirt taking on Lord Godalming with his crucifix.
Oh gosh.
So Randiv now 1-1. Werecraft's dropped to 0-2.
Definitely a good game.
Yeah. And looks like Werecraft's gonna play again next Saturday.
Yep.
Well.
good video.
Yeah. So, any last thoughts you want to say before I shut it down?
Really great game. Really,
Scott
Werecraft.
Sword. Yeah. Yeah. You can keep going. I just wanted to ask if they had anything to add too.
Oh no, that's fair. They're on a delay, right? So they're okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like,
Thanks for streaming. Thanks for streaming, my king.
well, it's definitely a fun game to watch, especially that ending.
Mm-hmm.
That went from Dracula's guaranteed to win to the Hunters are guaranteed to win, back to Dracula wins.
Yeah, you can't always assume they have conquered ground, I suppose, right? You can't just live in fear.
Yeah.
But
it's only one card out of the 75 card deck. But yeah, Werecraft's in trouble now with his 0-2 record.
he's gonna have to win, I think, everything else probably, right? And even then, he's gonna be counting on other people to trip up.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I play him tomorrow.
I suppose if he wins everything, that's gonna mean that some other people have to lose.
Yeah. I beat him once. If I beat him again, then that's gonna officially knock him out. Because I'll be 3-0 and have a pretty high IDS. I need to be just crushed in my last 3 games for me to be knocked out under him.
And yeah, I agree with what the Scots were saying. I really thought Werecraft was a top pick to win the whole thing, and I am surprised to see him performing. I mean, obviously very well played by him. It was a very good game. He was doing some good strats there. It didn't go his way this time. I'm just surprised to see it not go his way.
Yep. He's on the edge, but he's not off yet.
Mm-hmm.
4 games left for everybody. Still lots that can happen.